Chapter 250. An ambush. I've been waiting for this for a long time, you little bastard. You're finally going to die at my hands. Bujitian stood in a restaurant outside the Celestial Academy, his eyes flashing coldly as he stared at the Academy's gates. Bujitian was the kind of person who wouldn't give up until he achieved his goal. Since he'd already accepted the mission to kill Yang Hongwu, he wouldn't back down. However, Bujitian wasn't happy about the fact that Yang Hongwu was related to the Bu family's super genius, Bu Shuilian, and they seemed to be on good terms. If he hadn't had a good relationship with one of Bu Shuilian's maidservants, he wouldn't have known about this. Bujitian was even more determined to kill Yang Hongwu now that he knew about this. This guy was good at dealing with women. Bujitian had done his research on Yang Hongwu and found that all of the women he'd interacted with had a favorable impression of him. If he didn't kill Yang Hongwu and this little bastard hooked up with Bu Shuilian, it would be a huge loss to the Bu family. Yang Hongwu had to die. Whether it was for personal vengeance or for the sake of the family, he had to die. After receiving the news, Bujitian waited in the restaurant outside the Celestial Academy for 3 whole days. During these 3 days, he didn't relax for even a moment. He kept a close eye on the Academy's entrance. Finally, he spotted Yang Hongwu and Zheng Qiushuang. However, Zheng Qiushuang's strength was growing too quickly. It made him a little nervous. Arcane Embryo Realm 10th level. Zheng Qiushuang had reached the Arcane Embryo Realm 10th level in just a month. That kind of cultivation speed was too shocking. Moreover, Yang Hongwu himself was also shocking. When he'd first seen him, he'd been very weak. Now, he'd advanced by leaps and bounds. He'd reached the 6th level of the Purple Mansion realm and could even break through to the 7th level. Even more frightening was this little bastard ability to challenge those of a higher level. If such a monstrous genius was allowed to grow, it wouldn't be long before Bujitian was no match for him. Bujitian had a feeling that when this kid grew up, even Zetian wouldn't be a match for him. Yang Hongwu and Zheng Qiushuang walked together intimately. He rushed towards the Morning Soul Mountain. The two of them were not in a hurry. Many students they knew came to greet them. Yang Hongwu also responded one by one, making himself feel like a celebrity. This kind of feeling was really strange. Yang Hongwu also knew that this was related to his current identity as the Pill King. If he wasn't a 7th grade alchemist, a mere Violet Mansion realm cultivation, even if he was a genius, others wouldn't take him seriously. After all, there were many geniuses. If they didn't grow up, they would be nothing. What the Tianyi Academy lacked the least was geniuses. Over the years, countless geniuses had died. Those who could truly grow up were too few, less than 1 in 100. After walking for a while, Yang Hongwu frowned and said, "Someone is following us. It can't be. I don't feel anything." Zheng Qiushuang said. Since Yang Hongwu had practiced the Spirit-Refining Heart Sutra, he had become very sensitive to auras and the sense of danger. Since leaving the Tianyi Academy's gate, he had felt a faintly discernible aura following behind him. It had been a long distance. Although it was very weak, Yang Hongwu still caught it. This aura was somewhat familiar. Was it someone protecting him from behind? Or was it an enemy who wanted to deal with him? So he had been hiding in the dark, waiting for an opportunity to kill him in one blow? No matter what, he had to find that person. If it was a friend, he would persuade him to leave. If it was an enemy, he would kill him without mercy. Don't look back. Let's go ahead. The road to the Morning Soul Mountain was very quiet and very suitable for an ambush. It was not far from here. Yang Hongwu found that the aura had already sped up and rushed ahead. Is he going to ambush me? Yang Hongwu sneered. Who knew who would be ambushing who? Yang Hongwu took out a talisman and held Zheng Qiushuang's hand. This talisman was a type of lesser teleportation talisman. It was not made of talisman jade, but of savage beast skin. Although it was not as good as talisman jade, it was enough to teleport such a short distance. Yang Hongwu crushed the talisman, and a ray of light enveloped the two of them. He quickly disappeared from where he stood, and when he reappeared, he was already in a dense forest. Yang Hongwu indicated for Zheng Qiushuang to jump onto a tree. Yang Hongwu took out the illusory cloud rat and had it set up an illusion formation. The illusory cloud rat was cultivating in the immortal pagoda. Its ability to set up an illusion formation had reached the 7th grade. This made Yang Hongwu overjoyed. A 7th grade illusion formation. TSK, TSK. If one was not mentally strong, they would not be able to escape. Even a primordial spirit expert might not be able to break it. Therefore, this kid was in trouble. No matter who he was dead meat. However, the illusory cloud rat had consumed too much energy to set up a 7th grade illusion formation. Yang Hongwu also felt the pinch. If it were not for the fact that the enemy was too strong, Yang Hongwu would really be reluctant to use it. After a dozen breaths, someone came. Yang Hongwu and Zheng Xiushuang were surprised when they saw who it was. It was Bu Jitian. Wasn't this guy in closed-door cultivation in Tai Academy, trying to break through to the primordial spirit realm? Why was he here? It seemed that he had a lot of resentment against Yi Qingyu. He had probably been spying on Yi Qingyu all along. However, since he dared to come, he was dead meat. Bu Jitian's strength was not bad. If Yi Qingyu had not been lucky last time, he would have been killed. For such a potential threat, Yang Hongwu would not hesitate to kill him if he could. Bu Jitian walked into the illusion formation. He did not notice that he had entered the illusion formation. This is a good place with good feng shui. Yang Hongwu, that little bastard, really got lucky. It's a pity to let such a good place become his burial ground. It is indeed a pity, but it's best if you keep it for yourself. Yang Hongwu sneered in his heart when he heard Bu Jitian's words. This guy was too arrogant, too arrogant. He didn't even know that he was in the illusion array. How did someone like him cultivate to such a level? Master, how do you want to deal with him? The illusory cloud rat looked at Bu Jitian in the illusion formation with excitement. Its long whiskers were trembling, and its eyes were blinking. It seemed to be thinking of some wicked idea to mess with Bu Jitian. In front of Yang Hongwu, it had never been taught a lesson by Yang Hongwu. Now that it had found an opportunity to teach someone a lesson, how could it give up? This guy was so blind to find trouble with Yang Hongwu. Didn't he know that he was now an elixir king? Chapter 251. Chapter 251. A drop of water from the longevity pond. Do it, but don't let him die, Yang Hongwu said. Initially, Xiao Chun wanted to practice his skills. However, this illusion cloud rat seemed to have been stifled. Thinking about it, it made sense. He had been tormenting this fellow for no reason, and its resentment had grown. If he did not vent it, it would not be appropriate. After all, given this fellow's current strength, it could be considered as a grade 7 savage beast. Even though its true fighting prowess was lacking, its ability to set up an illusory formation was nothing to scoff at. That's great, master. I promise I won't kill him. When the illusion cloud rat heard this, its long whiskers trembled even more violently, and its thieving eyes revealed an excited expression. Little White is really amazing. 7th grade illusory formation. Amazing, really amazing. Zheng Xiushuang had long known of the illusion cloud rat's existence. However, she did not know that the illusion cloud rat could now set up a tier 7 array formation. She also knew that Yang Hongwu had the eggs of the metal-devouring beetles. If the metal-devouring beetles were hatched, together with the illusory cloud rat, their battle prowess would reach a terrifying level. If he could find a battle pet that focused on attacking, it would be a perfect combination. With the illusory cloud rats setting up the illusory formation and the gold-devouring beetles for defense, Zhang Xian would be able to find a powerful offensive assistant. Once he grew stronger, he would definitely be invincible among those of the same level. In fact, it would be easy for him to challenge those of a higher level. Not only was it a one-on-one battle, but it was also a group battle that was extremely terrifying. That's all this rat can do. Although Yang Hongwu said that he was very satisfied with the illusory cloud rat. This fellow was not only good at setting up illusory arrays, but it was also like an encyclopedia. It knew many things about the ancient times. He had helped him a lot. Yang Hongwu knew that the phantom cloud rat was not as simple as it seemed. He had made the wisest decision to take the rat as his battle pet. Inside the illusion array, Bu Jitian was pacing back and forth. He realized that something was wrong. There was something strange about the surroundings. There was actually the faint sound of a woman moaning. At this time, beauties walked out one after another. These women were all wearing revealing clothes, and their postures were very seductive. Bujitian's heart swayed as he watched. However, Bujitian was Bujitian after all. He was not a lecherous man. In his eyes, there was no difference between men and women, only enemies and himself. Try to charm me with such a petty trick? You're really courting death. Bujitian snorted coldly, and the weapon in his hand exploded with a terrifying light, smashing the women into pieces. When the illusion cloud rat saw this, it couldn't help but stomp its feet in anger. Bastard, damn bastard, you don't even like beautiful women. Following that, the illusory cloud rat's eyes darted around as it thought to itself, if he doesn't like women, then he must like men. Thus, the scene in front of Bujitian changed again. The seductive women disappeared and were replaced by all sorts of handsome men. Some were handsome, some were burly, some were seductive, and some were extremely masculine. All of them walked towards Bujitian. Bujitian was even angrier when he saw this. Damned little bastard. Despicable, despicable. How dare you humiliate me like this? I'm going to tear you to shreds. Bujitian's berserk aura exploded out, and his powerful strength caused those men to die one by one. Wah wah wah. The illusory cloud rat cried out in anger. It had failed twice. It was a dignified sovereign beast, but it couldn't even deal with a brat who hadn't even reached the primordial spirit realm. It was too embarrassing for the illusory cloud rat. He doesn't like women, and he doesn't like men either. Could it be that he likes savage beasts? The illusory cloud rat's imagination ran wild. This human's taste is too strong, but since you like them, I'll give you savage beasts. When Yang Hongwu and Zheng Qiushuang heard the illusory cloud rat's muttering and its actions, they couldn't help but laugh so hard that their stomachs were cramping. This Whitey is really, really funny. Bujitian is really unlucky to have met Whitey. Zheng Qiushuang leaned on Yang Hongwu, gasping for breath. She was laughing so hard that she couldn't even stand properly. He doesn't like women, and he doesn't like men either. Could it be that he likes savage beasts? His taste is too strong? This F***er is really a weirdo. Yang Hongwu didn't know if it was because he had locked the rat up for too long. While Yang Hongwu and Zheng Qiushuang were laughing so hard that they couldn't breathe, Bujitian saw a group of savage beasts. There were all kinds of savage beasts, wild boars, wolves, bulls, and so on. Their eyes were all red, and they charged at Bujitian as if they had gone mad. Bujitian's face turned green when he saw these savage beasts. Beasts in heat? All of them were beasts in heat. Which bastard set up this array? How wicked! Suddenly, Bujitian felt that something was wrong. A pink smoke entered his body. Damn it! Bujitian's expression changed drastically. That bastard used drugs. Damn it, this pink smoke is obviously the kind of drug. Yang Hongwu and Zheng Qiushuang saw this scene. They were laughing so hard that tears came out of their eyes. This illusory cloud rat is really wicked. In the illusion array, a large group of savage beasts in heat was created, and it even used lover's miasma. Yang Hongwu and Zheng Qiushuang were very familiar with the lover's miasma. The reason why they were together was because of this lover's miasma. However, Bujitian was in trouble now that he had been hit by the lover's miasma. Although there were savage beasts, they were all created by the illusion array. Zheng Qiushuang couldn't stand it anymore. The next scene would probably be unbearable to watch. Yang Hongwu couldn't stand it either. Damn it, that scene was too hardcore. Yang Hongwu was just worried that Bujitian would explode and die. As it turned out, Yang Hongwu's worry was unnecessary. The illusory cloud rat, a shameless rat, did the most shameless thing possible, which was to attract several wild boars. 2 hours later, the illusory cloud rat finally stopped the illusion array. It came to Yang Hongwu, eager to be praised. Master, it's done. The guy is still breathing. Ahem, the illusory cloud rat, right? Well done. Yang Hongwu glanced around. Damn it. He almost threw up the dinner he had last night. He turned around and said, Illusory cloud rat, wash that guy and change his clothes. Disgusting, really disgusting. The illusory cloud rat liked this kind of thing. Well, it seemed that the battle pet he had taken was really, Yang Hongwu didn't know what words to use to describe it. Yang Hongwu began to doubt his previous thoughts. Was it the right decision to take the illusory cloud rat as his battle pet? The illusory cloud rat did as it was told and threw Bujitian to Yang Hongwu. Master, this is that guy's storage ring. The illusory cloud rat threw Bujitian's storage ring over. Yang Hongwu was overjoyed as soon as he opened it. Chapter 252. A Trace of Green. This really is the longevity pond's water. Bujitian, you actually managed to get your hands on the longevity pond's water. Yang Hongwu looked at the jade bottle in his hand. Without a doubt, this was the longevity pond's water. It was rich with life energy that made one feel refreshed. Hopefully, the longevity pond's water would be able to nurture the nameless wooden stick. Yang Hongwu accepted the jade bottle without hesitation. There were a few other things in the ring, most of which were medicinal pills and spirit stones. The Heavenly Dipper lightning-proof formation is actually a formation disc. Yang Hongwu also found something else in the ring that surprised Yang Hongwu. It was a very high-grade and precious item. Formation discs were similar to talismans. Although the Heavenly Dipper lightning-proof formations disc couldn't compare to his Dragon God Demon Suppressing Talisman, it was still a first-rate treasure. Formation discs were probably extremely rare even in the primordial regions, let alone the ancient Desolation continent. After Yang Hongwu put away the items, he kicked the unconscious Bujitian who was still lying on the ground. Bujitian slowly regained consciousness. "It's you?" When Bujitian saw the person in front of him, his eyes went wide. It was actually this bastard. Bujitian's face turned the color of pig's liver as he recalled what had happened to him. His expression turned ferocious, and he glared at Yang Hongwu like a hungry wolf. "Yes, it's me." Yang Hongwu looked at him. "You didn't expect to fall into my hands after coming here to kill me, did you? Kill me if you have the guts. As long as I'm alive, I'll kill you and wipe out your entire clan." Bujitian said viciously. "Kill me and wipe out my entire clan?" Yang Hongwu sneered. "You won't have a chance. Today, you'll die without a doubt." As he spoke, Yang Hongwu stepped on Bujitian's face. "Back then, when you were so arrogant and wanted to kill me, did you think this day would come? TSK, TSK. So what if you're a genius disciple of Tai Academy? The scene is very exciting. In fact, I'm looking forward to the exciting scene between you and those savage beasts. What will happen if it spreads out? Would the Bu clan still have any face left? Will the ancestors of your Bu family crawl out of their graves in anger?" If Bujitian's eyes went wide, and he tasted something sweet in his throat. Humiliation. Utter humiliation. When he thought of that, he couldn't take it anymore. A mouthful of blood rushed up his throat, and his eyes went wide. Yang Hongwu tossed Bujitian's corpse aside. If it had been someone else, Yang Hongwu might have been merciful enough to bury them. But Yang Hongwu didn't like Bujitian, so he decided to leave his body here to feed the savage beasts. "Shuang, let's go," Yang Hongwu said. Zhang Qiushuang nodded. She also looked at Bujitian with disgust and didn't even look at him. The two set off for the Morning Soul Mountains again. Yang Hongwu summoned the Dapeng Golden Eagle, and the two rode it toward the Morning Soul Mountains. Half a day later, they arrived at the outskirts of the Morning Soul Mountains. This place was shrouded in a layer of fog, and it was very mysterious. After putting the Dapeng Golden Eagle back into the Immortal Pagoda, the two slowly advanced. "Be careful. I suspect that this Morning Soul Mountains is actually a huge tomb. It's very likely the tomb of a super expert," Hua Qinshua said. "Tomb. The tomb of a super expert." Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and said, "That's not possible. The Morning Soul Mountain range is so huge. It's not smaller than the Sky Dragon Mountain range at all. If the entire mountain range is a tomb, how terrifying would this super expert be?" Building such a huge tomb was also a huge project. Even a primordial spirit realm, no, even an existence that surpassed the primordial spirit realm wouldn't be able to build such a huge tomb. There's nothing impossible about this. The methods of true experts are not something you can imagine. They can refine the entire mountain range and the entire tomb into a magical treasure, just like your nine heavens mysterious Een pagoda. It looks small, but in reality, it's incomparably spacious. It's very possible that it's a special space that they opened up using heaven-defying methods, Hua Qinxue explained. Yang Hongwu's heart was beating wildly, and his eyes were filled with excitement. A super expert's tomb, if he could get the treasures inside, he would be rich. There might even be 8th grade emperor pills, or even 9th grade emperor pills. TSK. If he took out even one of these pills, he would be beaten to death, even in the ancient region. A super expert's tomb? Huh? Then, if we can find a real tomb, wouldn't we be rich? Yang Hongwu said, if we can get the inheritance, that's even more amazing. Who knows, I might be able to break through to the primordial spirit realm in a single step. Things aren't that simple. Hua Qinxue said, the tomb of a super expert is filled with danger. Even if you have the immortal pagoda and talisman treasure to protect you, you won't be completely safe. Just as he was about to enter the Morning Soul Mountain, Yang Hongwu felt some movement from the mysterious wooden stick in his spiritual palace. It was actually absorbing the mysterious mist in the Morning Soul Mountain. Yang Hongwu was shocked. The mysterious mist was entering his spiritual palace and was being devoured by the wooden stick bit by bit. Not long after, the entire outer layer of fog was swallowed up, but the wooden stick still seemed to want more. Yang Hongwu was stunned. What was going on? What was this mist? Why was the wooden stick absorbing the mist? At this moment, there was a hint of green on the wooden stick. Yes, there was a hint of green. Although it wasn't obvious, Yang Hongwu could still see it. Yang Hongwu hurriedly took out the piece of wood. He thought of the longevity pool water that he had just obtained. Next, he brought out the longevity pond's water as well. Then, he carefully dripped the longevity pond's water onto the wooden stick. The moment the water from the longevity pool landed on the wooden stick, it was absorbed at a very fast speed. Yang Hongwu could sense that there was an additional trace of life within the wooden stick. Although this trace of life was very weak, it was extremely powerful. A drop of longevity pool water contained a huge amount of energy. If an ordinary person swallowed it, they probably wouldn't be able to absorb it all. Even a 4th-step primordial spirit realm expert would need a few days to absorb the longevity pool water. But this wooden stick absorbed all the longevity pool water in a breath. It was obvious how powerful this wooden stick was. Husband, what is this? Why did you drip longevity pool water on it? Aren't you going to use it to hatch the gold-devouring beetles? Seeing Yang Hongwu dripping water from the longevity pond onto a wooden stick, Zheng Xiushuang's eyes widened, and she asked in confusion. Chapter 253. Lin Quan, so powerful? Heaven-climbing vine? That's the heaven-climbing vine. When Zheng Xiushuang heard that even the heaven-climbing vine was devoured, she was even more shocked. The heaven-climbing vine was a legendary demonic vine that could connect to the heaven world. If one could obtain the heaven-climbing vine, one could ascend to the heaven world and become an immortal. That's why I want to nurture it. Although it's difficult, if I can really nurture this wooden stick, it will definitely be extremely powerful and terrifying. Yang Hongwu said, yes, husband, you can definitely do it. Zheng Qiushuang's eyes were filled with splendor. The man she had her eyes on was just so powerful and outstanding. He had even obtained the heaven-climbing vine before. Although his journey had been fraught with danger, and he had narrowly escaped death, it had always been more daunting than dangerous. And he had always been able to grow in danger. Fate, the main character of the world, the one blessed by the heavens. That's right, my husband must be the son of providence of this world. Legend had it that a son of fate would be born in the ancient desolate continent every 100,000 years. They were blessed by the heavens, and their lives would be glorious. Along the way, there would be mountains of corpses and seas of bones. All of their enemies would be killed mercilessly and become their stepping stones to reach the peak. After the wooden stick absorbed the water of the longevity pool, the hint of green on it became more obvious. Soon, it turned into a ray of light and entered Yang Hongwu's spiritual palace. A message was transmitted from the spiritual palace. It was a joyful feeling, as though it was asking Yang Hongwu to find more things for it. The longevity pool's water and the mysterious mist. The longevity pool's water wasn't easy to find, but the mist was definitely abundant in the Morning Soul mountain range. If it absorbed all the mysterious mist in the Morning Soul mountain range, would it make the wooden stick sprout? If it could, it would be great. Let's go. Yang Hongwu held Zheng Qiushuang's hand. In the Morning Soul mountain range, the mist was extremely corrosive and could affect one's mind. However, it had no effect on Yang Hongwu and Yi Zichen. Instead, it was the tonic of the wooden stick. If someone were to know about it, they would be extremely shocked. The two of them continued forward. Yang Hongwu felt that the wooden stick was leading the way for him. After walking for a while, Yang Hongwu was surprised to find a spiritual herb in front of him. It was a grade 6 spiritual herb, blood origin grass. Our luck is too good. It's actually a 6th tier spirit herb. Zheng Qiushuang also found it unbelievable. She did not expect to find a blood origin grass, a 6th grade spiritual herb, in such a short time after entering the Morning Soul mountain range. Be careful. There are savage beasts guarding the vicinity of grade 6 spirit herbs, said Yang Hongwu. Don't worry, husband, I know. Zheng Qiushuang walked over and saw a small red snake sticking out its tongue beside the blood origin grass. This is a level 5 peak savage beast, the red thread kite. Hua Qinxue reminded, this red thread kite is extremely poisonous. However, its venom is the key ingredient for cultivating the red blood poisonous palm. Red blood poisonous palm? Yang Hongwu frowned. He had heard of the red blood poisonous palm before. It was a very cruel and poisonous skill. If one was hit by the red blood poisonous palm, his body would rot and his blood would flow backward. It would be a fate worse than death. That's right. Don't be bitten by this red thread kite. Otherwise, it will be very troublesome. Zheng Qiushuang moved. She kept waving the sword in her hand, drawing out streaks of silver light. There were sword shadows everywhere. Only the sound of ding ding dang dang could be heard. The long sword kept attacking the small snake. What a strong defense. Yang Hongwu looked at the red thread kite that was sent flying. Zheng Qiushuang's attack only left a few white marks on the snake's body. Release the 9 Frost Centipede. Now that the 9 Frost Centipede has reached the level of a 6th grade savage beast, this red thread kite is the best tonic for it, said Hua Qinxue. Hearing this, Yang Hongwu quickly released the 9 Frost Centipede. As soon as the 9 Frost Centipede appeared, it turned into a streak of silver light and shot towards the red thread kite. It crashed into the red thread kite heavily. The 2 streaks of light, one red and one white, kept crossing each other at an extremely fast speed. After a few collisions, their speed slowed down. Many of the scales on the red thread kite fell off. The 9 Frost Centipede was also injured. Yang Hongwu was wondering if he should help the 9 Frost Centipede. Unexpectedly, at this moment, the 9 Frost Centipede moved again. It shot out like a sharp arrow. Looking again, the 9 Frost Centipede's mouth was biting the red thread kite's golden ring. The red thread kite twitched a few times and stopped moving. Then, the 9 Frost Centipede became bigger and swallowed the whole body of the red thread kite. Then, it flew back and landed in Yang Hongwu's palm. The stronger the strength and the higher the level, the smaller the 9 Frost Centipede became. Its crystal clear body was like a jade carving. It was very beautiful. Yang Hongwu kept the 9 Frost Centipede. On the other side, Zheng Qiushuang had already carefully dug out the blood vitality grass. Blood vitality grass. When Zheng Qiushuang passed the blood vitality grass to Yang Hongwu, a voice came from not far away. A man walked out. Little brother, can you give this blood vitality grass to me? The man asked for the blood vitality grass. Yang Hongwu frowned. If you want it, then give it to me. Damn it, I'm not familiar with you. Why should I give it to you? Who are you? Yang Hongwu looked at the man and said coldly, why should I give it to you? Excuse me, I'm Lin Quan, a pro-disciple of the Kunlun Academy. I've been looking for this blood vitality grass for a long time. It's very helpful to me. I hope you can give it to me. Lin Quan looked at Yang Hongwu and said again. In Lin Quan's mind, once the other party heard his name, he would definitely hand over the blood yuan grass. After all, his name, Lin Kuan, was extremely famous in the ancient desolate continent. He was one of the 5 true disciples of the Kunlun Academy. You're Lin Kuan from the Kunlun Academy? That's me. It's just a small name. Lin Kuan's mouth curled up into a smile. He thought to himself, this kid will probably give up the blood vitality grass respectfully. Sorry, I've never heard of you. Yang Hongwu's next words made Lin Kuan want to vomit blood. This bastard dared to make fun of him. Lin Kuan's eyes suddenly darkened. He looked at Yang Hongwu coldly and said, Little brother, are you sure you're talking to me? Are you kidding? Yang Hongwu smiled and snorted at the guy's threat. He said, Do I need a joke? You're Lin Kuan, right? Get out of my sight. Who do you think you are? You want my blood yuan grass? Even if the leader of your Kunlun Academy comes here, I won't give you the blood yuan grass. Chapter 254. Body of the Devil Dragon. Seeing this, Yang Hongwu hurriedly retreated. He threw out a talisman in his hand, which transformed into a sharp knife and rushed toward the fist. Grade 6 talisman seals. I want to see how many talismans you have. Lin Kuan's attack was blocked, but he was neither fast nor slow. This brat's strength was too weak. Although a 6th grade talisman could block his attack, how many 6th grade talismans could he have? Do you want it? There are plenty of them. Yang Hongwu sneered. As a talisman master, a 6th grade talisman master, even if the number of talismans was few, the number was beyond his imagination. One talisman after another was thrown out. All of a sudden, the entire space was filled with all kinds of attacks. They were colorful, just like fireworks. Lin Kuan was flustered. Although his cultivation had already reached the peak of the primordial spirit first step, he was still in a sorry state when he used so many 6th grade talismans. How is it? Do you want more? Looking at Lin Kuan's embarrassing appearance, Yang Hongwu couldn't help but laugh. This bastard, relying on his identity as a true disciple of the Kunlun Academy, he was so arrogant that he even dared to ask for the blood yuan grass. How shameless! If he didn't teach him a lesson, he wouldn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Good, very good. You're the one who forced me to do this. Brat, I'm going to skin you alive today. Lin Kuan's eyes were bloodshot. Demonic dragon battle body, activate. Black scales grew all over Lin Kuan's body. Dragon scales. It was actually the demonic dragon. His eyes were crimson red and flashed with a crazed killing intent. It had a pair of black horns on its head, the horns of the demonic dragon. The demonic dragon's horn. Is this the demonic dragon's horn? A child's voice rang out from Yang Hongwu's divine dwellings. Yang Hongwu shuddered. The voice in his divine dwellings came from the dragon egg, the golden dragon egg. Yang Hongwu was dumbfounded. He hadn't expected the dragon egg in his sea of consciousness to be able to make a sound. This situation was truly unbelievable. What are you spacing out for? Hurry up and run, the voice said. Yang Hongwu came back to his senses. Seeing Lin Kuan's claw coming over, he quickly dodged. Dragons soaring in the 9 heavens. His whole body turned into several dragon shadows, dodging this claw. Clang! A deep scratch mark appeared on the ground. Yang Hongwu felt a chill run down his spine. If he was scratched, he would be seriously injured even if he didn't die. At this moment, Zheng Qiushuang also launched her attack. The treasured sword in her hand danced continuously. Sword shadows enveloped the area, flickering with cold qi. Open! Lin Kuan roared angrily and struck out with his claw. Zheng Qiushuang's body flew out like a kite with a broken string. Yang Hongwu crushed a teleportation talisman and hugged Zheng Qiushuang. Then he fed her a medicinal pill and sent her into his immortal pagoda. Where is he? Wow, there's actually a spatial treasure that can store living people. Seeing that Zheng Qiushuang had disappeared, Lin Kuan's eyes flashed with greed. I didn't expect my luck to be so good today. A mere tier 6 spiritual herb is nothing. As long as I can catch you, that will be my greatest gain. You want to catch me? Hee hee. Yang Hongwu mocked. You're still far from it. Don't think that you're so great just because you're first step primordial spirit realm. I'll let you know who you can't afford to offend. Kunlun Academy is nothing in my eyes. 9 Dragons' sacred body, open. Battle Spirit Possession. Mystic Dragon 9 Transformations. Open. Titan Art. Unleash your full strength. Open. Full power explosion. Yang Hongwu roared and exploded his strength. This was the first time in a long time that Yang Hongwu had gone all out. It had been a long time since he had gone all out. Suppressing in his heart, he was still pissed. Divine Dragon Demon Suppression Talisman. Suppress. A golden talisman flew out and turned into a divine dragon. It spat out a golden word, suppress. The demonic dragon combat body belonged to the demonic race. It also belonged to the dragons and had the bloodline of dragons. No matter what kind of dragons they would be suppressed in front of the 9 dragons' sacred body. 9 dragons' sacred body. You actually have the 9 dragons' sacred body. Talisman treasure. How do you have so many treasures? They're all mine. As long as I devour your combat body and seize the 9 dragons' sacred body and the talisman treasure, I'll be able to soar. When that happens, I'll be able to break through to the primordial spirit realm. By then, I'll be the ruler of the entire ancient wilderness. No one will be able to defeat me. Although his cultivation was suppressed, Lin Quan wasn't afraid. Instead, his eyes flashed with madness. The 9 dragons' sacred body. This guy actually had the 9 dragons' sacred body. It was the strongest combat body among the dragons. A sacred body was countless times stronger than an immortal body. If Yang Hongwu's cultivation had reached the half-step primordial spirit realm, Lin Quan wouldn't have faced him and would have run away. However, he was just a Violet Mansion realm guy. He hadn't even reached the arcane embryo realm. Now that his aura and cultivation had increased, it was obvious that he had used a secret technique to increase his cultivation. There was a limit to such an increase. His strength was strong, but it couldn't be sustained for long. Moreover, he was only at the arcane embryo realm. He wasn't even at the half-step primordial spirit realm. He was already at the first-step primordial spirit realm. Coupled with the activation of the demonic dragon combat body, his strength had increased tremendously. Unless it was someone at the 3rd step primordial spirit realm, they wouldn't be a match for him. Come here. Demonic dragon devours the sky. Lin Quan stretched out his dragon claws and formed a black vortex in front of him. The vortex released a terrifying suction force that sucked everything in the surroundings into the vortex and turned them into dust. The vortex was like a small black hole. It was extremely terrifying. The strong suction force made Yang Hongwu's expression change. He had unleashed his full strength, but there was still a big gap between them. Omnidirectional killing fist. Kill, kill, kill. Yang Hongwu opened his eyes and punched out with both his fists. One after another, terrifying killing gods descended. They were invincible. Anyone who stood in their way would be killed. They would turn the world upside down. They would make rivers of blood flow and mountains of corpses and seas of bones. It was like Azura hell. The terrifying killing intent condensed into an Azura demon god. It was extremely terrifying. Good. You even cultivated the omnidirectional killing fist. This is the cultivation technique that suits me the most. The omnidirectional killing fist uses killing to enter the path, killing to become a demon. Demonic dragon, demonic dragon. I'll surpass the demonic dragon body. I'll be the true demonic dragon. Lin Quan went crazy. The might of the demonic dragon was unparalleled in the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Lin Quan had always looked up to the demonic dragon as his role model. It was a pity that his combat body was the demonic dragon body and not the legendary demonic dragon body or 9 dragon sacred body. Chapter 255. The Might of the Dragon Egg, damn it. Yang Hongwu resisted the terrifying suction force. The 10-direction killing fist was only able to block it for a short while. You can't block it. Although the 10-direction killing fist is powerful, your cultivation is too weak. You're too weak. The dignified demonic dragon body is a waste on you. You don't deserve to have such a bloodline. Give it to me. Let me achieve the might of the demonic dragon. Let me surpass the demonic dragon and become a supreme legend. Lin Quan laughed wildly. You want my bloodline? Are you going to accompany me? You're just a worm and a black loach. Do you really think you're a dragon? Yang Hongwu sneered. You're courting death. Lin Kuan roared. I'm going to swallow you alive. After saying that, Lin Kuan's body changed again. His body began to squirm. In an instant, his entire body underwent an astonishing transformation. He turned into a black dragon. This black dragon looked a little strange, but its eyes were filled with an evil and destructive aura. This black dragon opened its mouth and bit towards Yang Hongwu. Damn it, its speed was too fast. Yang Hongwu felt that he couldn't dodge in time. Moreover, a powerful suction force came from that big mouth, making Yang Hongwu feel that he couldn't escape. Yin Yang double revolution. Yin Yang great millstone. Crush for me. Yang Hongwu roared. He raised both his hands, and the power of Yin and Yang erupted, forming a huge millstone. This huge millstone was constantly rotating, facing the black dragon's huge mouth. The yin-yang great millstone formed by the power of yin and yang started to rotate crazily. It hit the big mouth, causing a huge explosion. A terrifying energy burst out, and a terrifying impact occurred on the ground. A huge crater appeared on the ground, where Yi Shiwen was standing. Yang Hongwu was sent flying for dozens of meters. Lin Kuan's black dragon body was also forced back a few steps, but only a few steps. The difference was too great. Good, this is a bit interesting. You're only at the Purple Mansion realm, yet you're able to force me to this extent. Not bad, too powerful. As expected of the demonic dragon body. This is the true power of the demonic dragon body. It didn't disappoint me. The black dragon that Lin Kuan had transformed turned into a black shadow and quickly swept towards Yang Hongwu. It was like a gust of wind, fast, too fast. Yang Hongwu had just crawled up when he felt a terrifying force enveloping him. He was unable to move at all. I'm dead. I'm dead this time. Yang Hongwu was horrified to discover that he couldn't even use the talisman. Without a way to use the talisman, he couldn't teleport out or use the talisman to call for help. Am I going to die here? Yang Hongwu felt a little sorrowful. To think that he was going to die like this. His mission had yet to be completed. He had yet to become the strongest expert of the ancient desolate continent. He had yet to return to the Sky Dragon sect. He had yet to kill Zetian. He had yet to marry Hu Xiaoer. There was also Hua Wuing. He had yet to go to the ancient domain to find Hua Wuing. More importantly, he had yet to take revenge on Yuji. He had yet to ruthlessly ravage her to the point that she couldn't get out of bed. Just when Yang Hongwu thought that he was going to die, the dragon egg in his divine palace moved. The dragon egg emitted a golden light. Wherever the golden light went, the demonic chi emitted by the black demonic dragon dissipated. It was like ice and snow coming into contact with scorching hot lava. It quickly melted away. No, how is this possible? What is this? Damn it. What else do you have in your body? Lin Kuan cried out in horror and kept retreating. However, the golden light didn't let him go. It turned into a golden net and enveloped Lin Kuan's demonic dragon body. How could Yang Hongwu let go of such a good opportunity? After regaining his freedom, Yang Hongwu's eyes flashed with a bright light. Since he couldn't die, it was time for Lin Kuan to die. Demonic dragon war body, demonic dragon phenomenon, demonic dragon bloodline. So what? He had the 9 dragons' saint body and cultivated the dragon soul, devour the heavens. It was destined to be his tonic. Dragon soul, devour the heavens, devour for me. A golden dragon soul appeared above Yang Hongwu's head. The dragon soul roared, opened its mouth, and bit down on the black demonic dragon. Bite after bite. Immediately, the black demonic dragon screamed miserably as it was bitten. Pieces of its flesh were devoured by the golden dragon soul. The flesh that was devoured turned into pure energy and integrated into Yang Hongwu's body. His divine palace. Yang Hongwu's divine palace continued to rise. After a dozen breaths, the demonic dragon war body was completely devoured by Yang Hongwu's dragon soul. Yang Hongwu felt that he was full of energy. Divine palace breakthrough. 10th level. Perfect 10th level. His divine palace had broken through and reached the perfect 10th level. He was only one step away from condensing a primordial spirit. Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. This was great. This was really a huge surprise. If it weren't for this and Lin Kuan's contribution, he didn't know how long it would take for him to break through to the perfect 10th level of the Divine Palace. But now he had achieved it in such a short time. He was only one step away from condensing a primordial spirit. Once his primordial spirit was condensed, his strength would increase by several times. He would be able to fight against mysterious embryo realm and half-step primordial spirit realm experts. No, he would even be able to kill a first-step primordial spirit realm expert. The power of the primordial spirit was unimaginable. There was a world of difference between having the power of the primordial spirit and not having it. Bu Shuoyan was able to become the strongest true teaching elder in the Tianyi Academy because she had the power of the primordial spirit. This was something that other fourth-step primordial spirit realm experts did not have. The power of the primordial spirit was the symbol of stepping into the primordial spirit realm. Fourth-step primordial spirit realm experts were only in the pseudo-primordial spirit realm. Without the power of the primordial spirit, they were nothing. Lin Kuan's battle physique and bloodline had been devoured by Yang Hongwu. The battle physique vision had turned into pure consciousness power and enhanced Yang Hongwu's divine palace. Therefore, Lin Kuan had been crippled and his cultivation level was constantly dropping. From his second-step primordial spirit realm, his aura kept dropping until he reached the Purple Mansion realm. You devoured my battle physique and bloodline. You devoured my battle physique vision. You will die a horrible death. Lin Kuan had never thought that such a terrifying thing would appear in his body when he had the upper hand and was only one step away from devouring his opponent. The golden light had directly suppressed his demonic qi and trapped him, rendering him unable to move. If he had known that there was such a terrifying thing in his body, he would never have tried to attack Yang Hongwu. But it was too late for regrets. There was no medicine for regret in this world. One had to pay the price for doing something wrong. But this price was too great for Lin Kuan. As one of the 5 true disciples of the Kunlun immortal abode, he had a high status and a bright future ahead of him. But he had never thought that he would die in the Morning Soul Mountains. The Morning Soul Mountains and the Morning Soul Mountains lived up to their reputation. Countless geniuses had died here, and he was going to die here too. Chapter 256. Horn of the Mystic Dragon. You can't accept it, right? Yang Hongwu stepped on his face and sneered. You think you're the best in the world? What a piece of trash. A first-step primordial soul realm cultivator, but he was still defeated by a purple palace realm cultivator like me. If it weren't for the mysterious power in your body, would you still be able to talk to me? Lin Kuan glared at Yang Hongwu. Luck is also a kind of strength. Yang Hongwu said with a look of disdain, a loser is a loser. The winner is the king, and the loser is the bandit. Hand over all your things. Everything. Don't waste my time. Although you've defeated me, you're dreaming if you want my things. Is that so? Yang Hongwu sighed. Why don't you believe me? I'll have to do it myself. Yang Hongwu lifted Lin Kuan up and pointed at Lin Kuan's body. Lin Kuan immediately felt as if his entire body was being bitten by countless ants. I'll give you some sweetness first. As for the things, I'll find them myself. Yang Hongwu searched for a while and found Lin Kuan's storage ring. Yang Hongwu didn't feel too much pressure to crack these storage rings. Ever since he had cultivated the Spirit-Refining Heart Sutra and obtained the Fortune Pill scripture, it had become easier for him to break the restrictions and break the storage rings. Besides, he had already crippled Lin Kuan's cultivation and constitution. It would not be difficult for him to break the seal on the ring. Yang Hongwu used the power of his spiritual sense to simulate the yin-yang great millstone and formed a great millstone to erase Lin Kuan's imprint on the ring. Lin Kuan's body shook, and he spat out another mouthful of blood. He couldn't believe that his spiritual imprint was so easily destroyed. Even though his body and bloodline had been destroyed, he was still alive. Also, take out the demonic dragon's horn. Don't force me to make a move. You know the consequences. Yang Hongwu said coldly. At this moment, Lin Kuan was still suffering from the intense, itching pain all over his body. Lin Kuan was also a character, a powerful character. He was actually able to endure that kind of itching pain. This really made Yang Hongwu have a whole new level of respect for him. Lin Kuan's expression changed again. The demonic dragon's horn was his biggest secret. Even his own father didn't know about it. So how did he know? How did you know that I have the devil dragon's horn? You originally had the black snake battle body, right? Yang Hongwu asked. The reason why you have the devil dragon body is because of the devil dragon horn. Lin Kuan originally wanted to cover it up, but after hearing these words, Lin Kuan knew that he wouldn't be able to pass this hurdle. He originally thought that with the demonic dragon's horn, he could rise again. However, he actually knew the secret of the demonic dragon's horn. Moreover, he knew so much about it. How could he hide it? How about we make a deal? Lin Kuan took a deep breath and endured the itching pain. He gritted his teeth and dug his fingers into the flesh of his palm. Yang Hongwu was a little curious. What kind of deal was he going to make with him? He pointed his finger and withdrew the genuine qi that was planted in Lin Kuan's body. What kind of deal do you want to make with me? You want me to let you go? However, you should know that I am determined to get the devil dragon's horn. I won't leave it to you. Yang Hongwu wanted the longevity pond's water. That thing was very rare. He got a drop from Bujitian, but it was far from enough. The wood only had a trace of green. If he wanted that wood to germinate and grow, it would take more than a drop or two. It was too difficult to find it by himself. The 4 great academies must have it. The Celestial Academy had it. He still had a way to get the longevity pond's water. However, the Kunlun Academy, the Celestial Academy, and the other academies were a little troublesome. Anyway, Lin Kuan had been turned into a waste. It was fine to make use of a waste. Yang Hongwu, do you want your 9-dragon saint body to be exposed? At this time, Hua Qinshue's voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's mind. Yang Hongwu's body trembled. Damn it. He had almost forgotten about this. Lin Kuan's body trembled. His mind was damaged. Yang Hongwu looked at Lin Kuan, his eyes flashing coldly. Damn, this bastard. He actually had a mind's secret technique. He had unknowingly fallen into his trap. If he let him go and exposed his 9-dragon saint body, things would be bad. At that time, he would really become the enemy of the whole world. His current strength had not reached the point where he could become the enemy of the whole world. Lin Kuan, you really surprised me. Under such circumstances, you can still use a mind technique. I almost fell into your trap. Yang Hongwu slapped Lin Kuan's face. Kill me if you have the guts. Don't even think about getting the demonic dragon's horn. Lin Kuan knew that he was going to die. 9 dragons, saint body. This guy had the 9-dragon saint body. He would definitely not let him go. The 9-dragon saint body was the body of the demonic dragon. Once the news got out, he would become the enemy of the whole world. If it were him, it would be impossible for him to let others know such a secret of his. Dead people were the best choice. I can find the demonic dragon's horn myself. Do you have any last words? Yang Hongwu's eyes shot out a terrifying light. He might not be able to find the demonic dragon's horn, but someone could. It was the dragon egg. The dragon egg in his spiritual abode could clearly sense the existence of the demonic dragon's horn. After refining the demonic dragon's horn, his strength could be further improved, and his 9-dragon saint body would be upgraded. Every upgrade of the 9-dragon saint body was very difficult, but every time it was upgraded, there would be a huge change. His strength would undergo a tremendous change. After the Yin-Yang second transformation, his 9-dragon saint body had reached a bottleneck. If he could get the demonic dragon's horn this time, there would definitely be a huge improvement. Can you tell me your name? Until now, Lin Kuan still didn't know who he had fallen into. He was somewhat unwilling and sullen. He was one of the 5 great true disciples of the Kunlun Academy, a super genius. But he had died in the hands of nobody. This feeling was uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. He was proud and arrogant, and it was more uncomfortable than death. Are these your last words? Then I will fulfill your wish. Remember, my name is Yang Hongwu. When you complain to the netherworld, don't get the wrong person. With that, Yang Hongwu stretched out his hand and grabbed Lin Kuan's neck. With a twist, a crack was heard. Lin Kuan's neck was crooked, and he lost his breath. Heavenly Dipper Thunder Formation, open. Yang Hongwu opened the formation plate that he had obtained from Bujitian and threw out the Divine Dragon Demon Suppression Talisman, to prevent the demonic dragon's horn from escaping. The demonic dragon's horn was a spiritual object. Although it was not as good as an immortal weapon, it had surpassed the existence of a celestial weapon. Such a spiritual object had its own intelligence. When it encountered danger, it would never sit still and wait for death. Chapter 257. Ichi San Xing. It will be too embarrassing if I let you run away. Yang Hongwu moved his hand and shot out a series of hand seals. The entire Heavenly Dipper lightning transformation array was activated, and bolts of lightning bombarded the demonic dragon's horn. The demonic dragon's horn charged around, trying to escape from the bombardment, but in the end, it couldn't. Yang Hongwu reached out and grabbed the demonic dragon's horn. This time, Yang Hongwu grabbed the demonic dragon horn. The powerful demonic chi made Yang Hongwu tremble. At this time, a gentle aura came from the dragon egg, purifying the demonic energy on the demonic dragon's horn bit by bit, turning it into the purest energy. Yang Hongwu refined and absorbed the energy. His cultivation base improved bit by bit, and his physical body was constantly strengthened. Yang Hongwu stood motionless. 2 hours passed. 4 hours passed. The demonic dragon horn weakened little by little, becoming smaller and smaller. 20 hours later, Yang Hongwu abruptly opened his eyes. His aura had a drastic increase as his cultivation broke through to the 8th level of the Purple Mansion realm. Although his divine dwelling hadn't broken through, it had been consolidated, and a trace of the power of the primordial spirit had been produced. This was a good start. The birth of the power of the primordial spirit, although it was only a trace, meant that he was not far from condensing the primordial spirit. I didn't expect to break through 2 levels. Yang Hongwu exhaled a mouthful of turbid air. The greatest benefit of the demonic dragon horn was not that he had broken through 2 levels, but that it had strengthened his physical body once again. His meridians and bones had all been strengthened. If he wanted to strengthen his physical body, he could only do it when he dual cultivated with a pure, immortal physique. Moreover, it would only be beneficial to his physical body if he dual cultivated for the first time. This time, he didn't expect that refining the demonic dragon's horn would bring him such great benefits. This was something that even Yang Hongwu didn't expect. Yang Hongwu collected his surprise and turned his attention to Lin Quan. This Lin Quan was quite a character. Bury him. Then, he checked his storage ring to see what was inside. Inside the ring, a jade slip caught Yang Hongwu's attention. Originally, after Yang Hongwu refined the demonic dragon's horn, he didn't care about other things. Inside the ring, there were some spirit stones, medicinal pills, and so on. Yang Hongwu didn't care about them. Medicinal pills and spirit stones were not of much help to his cultivation. He had medicinal pills that he could refine on his own, and he had quite a few spirit stones as well. However, the jade slip was a very rare thing. Generally, if the information was imprinted into the jade slip, it would definitely not be something simple. Furthermore, the restriction on this jade slip was very simple and unadorned. This was enough to attract Yang Hongwu's attention. However, what Yang Hongwu was curious about was that Lin Quan didn't seem to keep the good stuff in his storage ring. Instead, he kept the jade slip inside. What kind of jade slip is this? Let's see what's recorded inside. Yang Hongwu's curiosity was aroused, and he took the jade slip in his hand. He tried to break the seal on the jade slip with the force of his spiritual sense, but he found that his spiritual sense had no way to break through the seal. This restriction didn't seem to be that simple. Twice. After a few times, the restriction on the jade slip still didn't move. This made Yang Hongwu even more curious. This jade slip is not simple. Yang Hongwu failed several times, so he could only use his last resort, the restriction-breaking pill. There were still some restriction-breaking pills left. Yang Hongwu took out a restriction-breaking pill. When the restriction-breaking pill touched the restriction on the jade slip, the restriction suddenly emitted a burst of light. The light became softer and softer, dimmer and dimmer. After a while, the light dissipated. The restriction had been broken. What is it? It's so mysterious and has such a powerful restriction. Yang Hongwu carefully picked up the jade slip. His spiritual sense entered the jade slip and read the information inside. The information turned into pictures and poured into Yang Hongwu's mind. There was a lot of information. The force of the primordial spirit filled Yang Hongwu's head. The force of the primordial spirit made him dizzy and painful. His head felt like it was being smashed open. It wasn't a fun feeling. After a dozen breaths, the force of the primordial spirit was completely absorbed by Yang Hongwu. He felt that he could almost condense a primordial spirit. His spiritual dwelling had expanded a lot and was wider than his dantian. Moreover, the force of the primordial spirit had become purer. If he wanted, Yang Hongwu could condense a primordial spirit at any time. Of course, Yang Hongwu knew that this was just an illusion. It wasn't a good thing to break through too quickly. How could it be so easy to condense a primordial spirit? However, after being tempered by the force of the primordial spirit in the jade slip, his primordial spirit would be much stronger than an ordinary primordial spirit. When Yang Hongwu sorted out the information in the jade slip, he was shocked. It took him a long time to come back to his senses. The things inside really shocked Yang Hongwu. It was not inferior to the creation pill scripture and the divine talisman technique. This was a cultivation method that was definitely worth a lot of money. Yang Hongwu even suspected that this cultivation method, no, it should be a secret method, was not inferior to the 9 transformation yin-yang harmony art that he cultivated. 1 qi into 3 pure ones. Damn, is this real? Yang Hongwu was even more shocked when he took a closer look. 1 qi into 3 pure ones. That was the cultivation method of Taishang Laojun. Could there be Taishang Laojun and 3 pure ones in this world? However, if there was by qi, the killing god, it didn't seem impossible for there to be a Taishang Laojun or a Taishang sage. Anyway, he could accept it. If this was really the 1 qi into 3 pure ones cultivated by Taishang Laojun, then it would be really awesome. Cultivation. I have to cultivate now. I have to start cultivating now. Yang Hongwu sat down with his legs crossed. He activated his consciousness and started cultivating. The power of his consciousness triggered the power of his primordial spirit. Boom! Yang Hongwu's body shook and his mind was shaken. A trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Backlash. I actually suffered a backlash. Could it be that I can't cultivate this peerless secret method? When Yang Hongwu rested for a while and took a closer look, he realized that he had been too anxious. The 1 qi into 3 pure ones secret method required one to have a primordial spirit and cultivate the power of the primordial spirit. 1 qi into 3 pure ones was actually the first, second, and third primordial spirits. 3 primordial spirits and 3 doppelgangers. Moreover, the most powerful thing was that the 3 doppelgangers could be combined. Yang Hongwu was secretly shocked. The strength of the 3 doppelgangers was definitely not to be underestimated. Once cultivated, the 3 doppelgangers could all cultivate, with the original body as the main body and the 3 doppelgangers as support. Moreover, they would not interfere with each other. That would be equivalent to having 4 times the combat strength. Just thinking about it was terrifying. If the 3 doppelgangers, together with the original body, worked together with the formation, how terrifying would the power be? It was not as simple as 1 plus 1. Chapter 258. Chapter 258, to unburden one's heart. It was a pity that his strength was still lacking by a little bit. Although it was just a little bit away from breaking through and condensing a yuan spirit in the divine dwelling, this step was difficult. It was likely more difficult than going from the first level to the peak of the 10th level. He was just 1 step away from the door, but it was difficult to cross it. However, Yang Hongwu was full of confidence. There was absolutely no big problem in this round. He could definitely pass it. If he couldn't even complete this breakthrough, then how could he break through to the real primordial spirit realm and kill Zetian? How could he travel unhindered under the heavens and gallop through the 9 heavens? Be careful. This place is full of dangers. Divine sense is not very useful here. Hua Qinshua said. Yes. Yang Hongwu nodded. The power of his consciousness was indeed restricted, and so was the power of his primordial spirit. It was indeed a little strange here. Fortunately, he had an immortal weapon, a divine dragon demon suppressing talisman, and a dragon egg. However, What Yang Hongwu was curious about was why Lin Quan was in the Morning Soul Mountain Range. The Morning Soul Mountain Range was a place where ordinary people did not dare to enter. As for a genius like Lin Quan, he was even more unwilling to enter this place. Could it be that something big had happened in the Morning Soul Mountain Range? Or did something big happen? Or perhaps some great treasure had appeared? Humans die for wealth and birds die for food. If there was nothing that could make them risk their lives to come here, then a genius like Lin Quan would definitely not appear here. However, before their eyes, Lin Quan had actually appeared here. There is only one explanation for his presence in the Morning Soul Mountain Range. Something that was worth their risk had appeared in the Morning Soul Mountain Range. Yang Hongwu entered the Immortal Pagoda's space first. At this time, Zheng Qiushuang's injuries were much better. "Husband, what is this place?" Zheng Qiushuang was quite surprised. She had thought that the rock, the illusionary cloud rat, and the others were all in Yang Hongwu's war pet space. She didn't expect to be there too. Obviously, this was not the war pet space. Yang Hongwu said, "This is one of my greatest secrets. This is the inner space of an immortal artifact." Immortal artifact? Zheng Qiushuang's eyes widened. She almost couldn't believe her ears. That was an immortal artifact, not an earth artifact or a heaven artifact. Even the 4 great academies didn't have an immortal artifact. How could Zheng Qiushuang not be shocked? Some time ago, he had heard that the aura of an immortal weapon had appeared in the ancient desolate continent. That was the 9 heavens' mysterious Een Tower. Could it be that this was the 9 heavens' mysterious Een Tower? "Husband, is this the 9 heavens' mysterious Een Tower?" "How do you know?" When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was also a little surprised. She actually knew. "Of course I do. Some time ago, some powerful forces, including the 4 great immortal palaces and the 7 great sects, sensed the aura of an immortal item in the direction of the Heavenly Dragon sect, but they were unable to find any trace of it. I didn't expect that my husband would get it." Zheng Qiushuang looked at her man with admiration. That was an immortal weapon. With an immortal weapon in hand, it was only a matter of time before he ascended to the ancient region. Moreover, with an immortal weapon in hand, it was almost impossible to kill Yang Hongwu, even if one's cultivation was much higher than him. You can't tell anyone about the immortal weapon, not even to the people closest to you. Do you understand? Yang Hongwu said in a serious tone. Yang Hongwu trusted Zheng Qiushuang a lot. She was his woman, and she would never betray him. However, it was hard to say about other people. For example, Zheng Qiushuang's sect, parents, etc. If they knew about it, they would definitely think of ways to seize the immortal weapon. Zheng Qiushuang nodded and said, "Husband, don't worry. I will definitely not tell anyone. I swear to the heavens." No need. Seeing that Zheng Qiushuang was about to swear, Yang Hongwu quickly stopped her and said, "You are my woman. How can I not believe you?" "No, I have to swear." Zheng Qiushuang insisted on swearing. "This matter is very important. I can't lose the big picture for the small. Although I will definitely not tell anyone about it, I still have to be prepared. My master, she has many methods. Only by swearing an oath will I be restricted. Only then will I not reveal this secret," Zheng Qiushuang said. Zheng Qiushuang's action made Yang Hongwu incomparably touched. He hugged her tightly. At this moment, there was no need for words. Silence spoke louder than words. "All right, let me introduce you to another person." Yang Hongwu called out Hua Qinshu. "This is also husband's woman. Which sister is she?" Zheng Qiushuang was very surprised when she saw Hua Qinshu. This woman had an extraordinary temperament. This temperament made Zheng Qiushuang feel ashamed of her inferiority. "She is Hua Qinshu. If it wasn't for her help, I wouldn't have the current realm. She is one of my most important women," Yang Hongwu said. "Sister Qiushuang, hello." Hua Qinshu stretched out her hand and said, "I am Yang Hongwu's battle spirit. I'm a spiritual body." "Battle spirit?" "Sister Qinshu, you are a spiritual body?" "Yes." Hua Qinshu nodded. The two of them suddenly chatted enthusiastically. However, Yang Hongwu was thrown aside. "Shuang, you and Qinshu stay here and cultivate well. Try to break through as soon as possible. Yang Hongwu said, No, I want to be with you. It is too dangerous outside. One more person means one more strength. Zheng Qiushuang shook her head and said. Yang Hongwu knew that Zheng Qiushuang would say this. Hence, he said, Shuang, or you don't have to worry. Qin Xue will help me. The most important thing for you now is to break through as soon as possible. Only then can you help me. Zheng Qiushuang recalled what happened just now. Facing Lin Quan, she couldn't help at all. Instead, she became a burden. If it wasn't for her, Yang Hongwu could have used the lesser teleportation talisman to escape. However, because of her, Yang Hongwu probably paid a huge price. He might have used the greater teleportation talisman. I'm sorry, husband. I am too useless. Zheng Qiushuang said. No. It is just that the enemy is too powerful. If it wasn't for you, I might have exploded and died. Yang Hongwu said, You are very powerful. You are one of the most important women in my life. You have to be confident. Yes, I will definitely become stronger. I will break through to the 4th step of the primordial spirit realm soon. At that time, I can really help you. Zheng Qiushuang nodded. Chapter 259. Delusion Breaker. Yang Hongwu went ahead alone and threw the illusory cloud rat out. This fellow was very vigilant and fast. It was indeed a good choice to use it as a scout. Master, there's no danger ahead. There's only a small beast, the illusory cloud rat said, shaking its head as it scurried to Yang Hongwu's shoulder. Little beast? What little beast? This illusory cloud rat was not very reliable. Usually, the little beasts it mentioned were not weak. Some of them were even at the peak of level 6. This time, it really is a little beast. The illusory cloud rat said, It's not even as big as me, so of course it's a small beast. Its strength isn't that great either. If that's the case, then go and kill that little beast. I'll leave the glorious mission to you. Hearing this, Yang Hongwu's eyes kept rolling. It must have suffered. How could a small beast that could make the illusion cloud rat suffer? How could it be simple? When the illusory cloud rat heard that, it pulled a long face and wagged its tail. It looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Master, it's not that I don't want to teach him a lesson. It's that little beast. I feel scared just looking at it. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was startled. What kind of savage beast was this? Even the illusion cloud rat felt apprehensive when looking at this little beast. Could it be a level 7 savage beast? Could it be that this place was also not restricted by the laws? If that was the case, things would be a little troublesome. It was no wonder it was called the Morning Soul Mountain Range, if there were savage beasts above grade 7 that were not restricted by the rules. Yang Hongwu became cautious. He stared at the illusory cloud rat and said, Tell me honestly, what kind of savage beast is it? It's a cat. The illusory cloud rat stroked its whiskers helplessly and said in frustration, It's just a white kitten. It's only level 5. It's just, hearing the illusion cloud rat's words, Yang Hongwu felt relieved. Although Zhang Tai didn't know what kind of species this illusory cloud rat was and where it came from, it was able to set up a level 7 illusory cloud formation. However, it was still a rat, and rats had a natural fear of cats. Therefore, it was not surprising that it would be so scared when encountering a level 5 cat-type savage beast. You're so embarrassing. Didn't you say you're a venerable beast? How could an old cat scare you like this? Shameful, truly shameful. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but be amused as he joked. This scoundrel was usually arrogant and despotic. If he didn't teach it a lesson, it would become incomparably arrogant. Sometimes it even dared to tease him. It's nothing. Allergy? Allergy, calm. It. That. It. He. Yang. Beast. Scared? Didn't you say it was just a cat? If you're afraid of a cat and don't even dare to look at it, how can you be a venerable beast? Yang Hongwu said, Let's go. I'm not afraid. I'm a venerable beast. When I show my power, it will definitely kneel and beg for mercy. It will come to me and serve me. The illusory cloud rat immediately raised its head and strode forward. It was as arrogant as a general and was very pleased with itself. The cat is coming. Yang Hongwu suddenly said, Let it come. I'll make it kneel and beg for mercy. The illusion cloud, Rat said. Behind you. Yang Hongwu reminded it. You lied to me. Do you really think I'm afraid? The illusion cloud, Rat sneered. Suddenly, the illusion cloud rat's hair stood on end. It let out a sharp cry. Then, it turned into a shadow and went behind Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu grabbed it with one hand. He looked at the white cat. This cat is not simple. It's a delusion chinchilla. Hua Chinchua said, I didn't expect you to be so lucky to meet the legendary chinchilla here. Delusion chinchilla? The name sounded strange. Yang Hongwu said, what kind of savage beast is that? I've never heard of it. Is it powerful? Yang Hongwu had read all kinds of strange stories in the ancient desolate continent. However, he had never seen such a savage beast. The cat looked beautiful, but he couldn't see anything special about it. Of course it's powerful. It's a very powerful savage beast. The reason why it's called delusion chinchilla is because it has the blood of a dragon and the delusion eyes. Hua Chinchua said, look carefully at the cat's eyes. Do you see a faint shadow? A shadow like a real dragon? Yang Hongwu nodded. Yes, I see it. The delusion chinchilla stared at Yang Hongwu without showing any hostility. Instead, it seemed to be close to Yang Hongwu, which surprised Yang Hongwu. Is it because I have the nine dragons saint body? At this time, Hua Chinchua introduced, that pair of eyes is the delusion eyes, which can see through illusions. The illusion cloud rat is a special kind of rat that can use illusions to confuse its opponents. However, the delusion chinchilla is its biggest enemy. It can be said that the delusion chinchilla is the illusion cloud rat's natural enemy, because the delusion eyes can restrain the illusion cloud rat. Therefore, even though the delusion chinchilla is only at level 5, it can still deal with the illusion cloud rat even if it's at level 4. The illusion cloud rat's biggest reliance is the illusion cloud rat. The delusion eyes, the delusion chinchilla. If I can tame it, won't it be of great help to me? Yang Hongwu looked at the chinchilla with sparkling eyes. Good heavens, it looks quite cute. Girls will like it very much. Wouldn't it be great if I can catch it and get it to Zheng Qiushuang as a pet? It's too difficult to catch the delusion chinchilla. It can see through your attacks, your intentions, and even your mind. Moreover, the delusion chinchilla has a spatial attribute. It can travel through space and move through space. It's much faster than your teleportation charm. Yang Hongwu's forehead was sweating when he heard that. It's too abnormal. It can read minds and teleport. It's really powerful. So, it's basically hopeless for me to catch it? That's a pity, Yang Hongwu said. Since we can't catch it, there's no need to provoke it. Let's go. If they couldn't get it, there was no need to cause trouble. Little fellow, I'm sorry for disturbing you. Please forgive me. Yang Hongwu looked at the chinchilla. It seemed to be a level 5 savage beast. However, it was the first time he saw such a powerful chinchilla. It didn't hurt to apologize. Don't call me little fellow. I'm not little. A clear voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's mind. Yang Hongwu opened his eyes wide and looked at the delusion chinchilla. You can talk? Chapter 260. An ancient tomb. I've apologized to you. I'm going to leave now. I won't disturb you. Yang Hongwu didn't want to be entangled with this guy. This Totoro didn't put the illusory cloud rat in its eyes. It wasn't simple, and it could even talk. In this Morning Soul Mountain range, danger lurked everywhere. It was best not to get into trouble. Savage beasts below level 7 couldn't talk. This guy seemed to be level 5, but it might be level 7. If this guy went crazy, who knew what the consequences would be? Wait, where are you going? Aren't you looking for that big tomb? Totoro looked at Yang Hongwu and said, I can bring you there. It'll be much safer. Otherwise, you'll encounter a lot of danger. You're too weak, even though you have this rat to protect you. Looking for a big tomb? Yang Hongwu stopped when he heard that. Many people had come here to look for a big tomb. Was this Lin Quan's purpose in entering the Morning Soul Mountain range? Yes, aren't you? I saw that many humans who came in were looking for the big tomb. However, most of them will die on the way. Few people who really enter the big tomb can come out alive. Chinchilla said, Big tomb? Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. This was a great opportunity. If he didn't go, he would be wasting a great opportunity. Yang Hongwu had always believed in his luck. Who's the tomb of that big tomb? Yang Hongwu knew that there might be a super expert's tomb in the Morning Soul Mountain Range. If he could get the inheritance of this super expert, it would be a piece of cake for him to roam the ancient wilderness. Of course, how could it be easy to break into the tomb of an expert? Traps, formations, restrictions, and so on. These were all fatal. If one was unlucky and didn't have enough strength, only death would await them. The stronger the expert, the more dangerous their tomb would be. Of course, the opportunities inside would also be greater, and the treasures inside would also be greater. She's an expert, a very powerful expert. The chinchilla said, very powerful. She can destroy the entire ancient desolate continent with a single breath. Yang Hongwu was secretly speechless. How could there be such a terrifying existence? Even the legendary gods did not have such terrifying strength. Are you kidding? Yang Hongwu said. In this world, how can there be such a terrifying almighty? It's a great emperor. Great emperor? I don't know either. There's only one piece of information. Yes, the great emperor. The great emperor is omnipotent. He has the power to destroy the world. Totoro said, I don't remember a lot of things. Maybe I can find my memories in that tomb. It's just that it's too dangerous inside, but I know you can go in. Chinchilla looked at Yang Hongwu. What do you think about this? Yang Hongwu secretly communicated with Hua Qianxue. This news was too shocking. Great emperor. What level was a great emperor? Yang Hongwu had never heard of it. But the power to destroy the ancient desolate continent with a single breath, wasn't it too terrifying? What kind of terrifying power was that? It was simply appalling. This chinchilla is not an ordinary chinchilla. Chinchillas are very intelligent. It could be a trap. I don't recommend going with it. Hua Qianxue said. After all, this morning Soul Mountain was too strange. A little carelessness could bury one's bones here. Moreover, this chinchilla was too strange. It was too risky to go with this chinchilla to the so-called tomb. Are you worried that I will lie to you? The chinchilla looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Don't worry, I can swear a heaven Dao blood oath. What are you hesitating for? This is a great opportunity. If you miss it, you will regret it for life. Think about it. A great emperor has the power to destroy the world. As long as you get a little benefit, it's enough to benefit you for life. If you can get the inheritance of this great emperor, it's even more amazing. Undeniably, this was too tempting. It was absolutely impossible for ordinary people to refuse. Even Yang Hongwu was tempted. Not good. There are humans coming. Suddenly, the chinchilla screamed and said to Yang Hongwu, Go quickly. These people are not to be trifled with. At this time, Yang Hongwu's face changed greatly. These people were full of murderous aura and demonic qi. This demonic qi was not unfamiliar to him. He had encountered demonic qi in the Golden Dragon Dynasty. Once he encountered these people, he would definitely not have a good ending. Go! Yang Hongwu made a choice in an instant. These people were very strong. He was no match for them unless he used the Immortal Tower. But even if he used the Immortal Tower, Yang Hongwu was not absolutely sure that he could kill these guys. Using the Immortal Tower consumed a lot of energy. He could at most use it once. After that, his Zhen Qi would be drained, and there would be no possibility of second battle. He might not be able to kill all the enemies, but he might get himself killed. That was not worth it. Although the Immortal Tool was powerful, it was risky to use it. He had to be cautious. Hurry up, the chinchilla said. These are demonic cultivators. They are very cruel and powerful. You are far from being a match for them. Even I can't handle them. If you don't want to die, hurry up. Yang Hongwu had no choice but to follow the chinchilla. Master, we can only follow this stinky cat now. Otherwise, we will really die here. The illusory cloud rat said. Apart from the road in front, the surrounding area is surrounded by demonic cultivators. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. He was too unlucky. These demonic cultivators were probably here for the chinchilla? Or was it just a show put on by the chinchilla? One must always be vigilant. However, he could only blame himself for taking one step at a time. He did not want to be involved in such a whirlpool, but he still did. Although Yang Hongwu had already planned for this before entering the Morning Soul Mountains, he was still somewhat nervous when it really came. The chinchilla was very fast. It was so fast that it did not seem like a cat. Yang Hongwu used his body movement to the extreme to barely catch up. After Yang Hongwu and the chinchilla walked for more than 10 breaths, several men in black appeared at the place where Yang Hongwu and the chinchilla were. They were all tightly covered. Damn it, we let that cat escape again. There's still the aura of a living person here. He is not old, and his cultivation is not strong. And he should not be above the mysterious embryo realm. I wonder which family this little thing is from. It actually dares to enter the Morning Soul Mountains. A man in black looked around, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. Chase, we must not let that chinchilla escape. It is the key to whether we can safely enter the tomb. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Chapter 261. Underground River. Hurry up this way. Totoro shouted. Yang Hongwu sped up and followed Totoro into a cave. The cave was dark. After entering it, he felt a burst of shaking, and then he felt his body was falling rapidly. It was like sitting on a slide, but this speed was too fast. He estimated that this was the same feeling as a roller coaster. After a while, he fell into the water with a splash. Yang Hongwu climbed out of the water in a sorry state. His whole body was wet. Moreover, the water here was very cold, making Yang Hongwu shiver. Fu *K. As a 9-dragon saint body, he had never felt cold. The water here made him shiver. What kind of water was this? It's so cold. What the hell is this place? I'm freezing. The fantasy cloud rat jumped on Yang Hongwu's shoulder and shook the water stains on its body. Master, take me back to the war pet space. You want to go in? Yes, it's too cold here. No. Yang Hongwu shook his head. Your master is suffering. You want to enjoy life? You wish. Can you let Little Nine come out? The Little Nine mentioned by the fantasy cloud rat was the 9 frost centipede. It's not appropriate to let Little Nine come out. Little Nine doesn't know as much as you. It's useless to come out. Who told you no more? Yang Hongwu said, don't talk nonsense, or I'll feed you to the cat. I won't eat it. Rat meat is not delicious at all. Look at it. Its meat is probably sour. Totoro muttered, revealing the temper of a little girl. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but laugh. His mood relaxed a lot. Your meat is stinky. Your whole family stinks. Damn, kitty, if you have the guts, fight me one-on-one. Hearing this, the fantasy cloud rat was angry. Its eyes widened, and it jumped on Yang Hongwu's head, staring at Totoro and provoking it. You want to fight me one-on-one? Totoro's clear voice sounded. Believe it or not, I will slap you to death. When the illusion cloud rat heard that, it lost its courage and said meekly, a good rat does not fight with a cat. This venerable beast won't lower himself to your level. Hearing this, Yang Hongwu and Hua Qinxue almost burst out laughing. A good mouse would not fight with a cat. Especially with this expression, it was simply too funny. Who are you calling a little cat? Okay, don't quarrel. Chinchilla. Well, your name is Chinchilla. It's a bit awkward to call you that, Yang Hongwu said. My name is Mao. Just call me Mao, Totoro said. That's what my mother called me. What's your name? My name is Yang Hongwu. You can call me Big Brother Yang. Cat, don't lower yourself to this guy's level. First, tell me where this place is. Yang Hongwu looked at the cat and said, why is the water here so cold? Shameless. Big Brother Yang? Don't you know that this little cat is much older than you? The illusion cloud rat muttered. Yang Hongwu pretended not to hear it and turned his head to look at the cat. Even with such a strong body, he could feel the coldness penetrating into his bone marrow. One must know that he was a 9-dragon sacred body. The 9-dragon sacred body was a physique of the purest yang. If it was someone else, they would have been frozen to death by this pool. Isn't this the place we are looking for? The cat said. Who are you? Is this the tomb? The tomb of the great emperor? Yang Hongwu was shocked. If this was the case, then it was not strange that the pool was so cold. No, this is just the periphery. The real entrance of the tomb has not yet arrived, the cat said. This is just the periphery. Yes, This is 100 miles away from the real entrance, the cat said. This is the safest passage to enter the tomb. The safest? That is to say, we will enter the tomb safely? Yang Hongwu was surprised. No. The cat shook her head. Shook her head and said, even if this passage is the safest, there will still be many dangers. How can it be so easy to enter the tomb of a supreme being? If we are not careful, we might die here. So, we must be careful. Yang Hongwu thought about it and agreed. If a supreme being's tomb was so easy to enter, then he would not be a supreme being. No matter who it was, they would not want to see their tomb being visited after their death. So, every supreme being would build a strong and sturdy tomb for themselves after their death, so that they would not be unable to rest in peace after their death. Big brother Yang, take some of the water here. It might be useful in the future. Take as much as you can, the cat said. Yang Hongwu took out a gourd. This gourd was originally a wine gourd. Yang Hongwu obtained it by accident and threw it in the storage ring. He had not used it before. Now it came in handy. What kind of water is this? This water was originally ordinary water. But because the supreme being contained a trace of spirituality, is so cold. The cat said, so, this water cannot be underestimated. In the ancient domain, many people want this water, but they are unable to obtain it even after racking their brains. After Yang Hongwu filled the gourd with water, he followed the cat and walked forward. This passage was an underground river. The water gurgled, but there were very few living things in the water. Be careful. There are some powerful fishes in this underground river. They taste very delicious, but they are very hard to catch. The cat said while walking. Is that so? Yang Hongwu was about to say something when a water arrow suddenly shot out from the side. Yang Hongwu quickly dodged. The water arrow hit the stone wall. Soon, as this sound came from the stone wall and a hole appeared. Yang Hongwu sucked in a mouthful of cold air. This is 2F** king dangerous. Yang Hongwu looked into the water and saw a black and white fish in the water. Its big eyes were emitting a faint red light. At this time, the cat stretched out its paw and patted the water. The black and white fish seemed to be bound by an invisible force. It was pulled out of the water and landed on the cat's paw. The fish kept twisting in the cat's paw, trying to escape. But how could the cat let it do as it wished? It patted heavily and the fish fainted. Big brother Yang Hongwu, these are the fishes. They are very delicious. The cat put the fish in front of Yang Hongwu as if it was a treasure. Yang Hongwu took the fish. He felt that the fish contained a shocking amount of spiritual qi. Moreover, it was very pure. It was yin and yang qi. He took a deep breath. This was very helpful to him. If he ate these fishes, his 9-transformation yin-yang art would be greatly improved. This was definitely great news for Yang Hongwu. Cat, what are these fishes called? Yang Hongwu asked. I don't know. The cat shook its head. These fishes are called 7th grade yin-yang fish. I have seen it in an ancient book. Hua Qinxue said, the book said that these yin-yang fish contain a huge amount of yin and yang energy. They can be used to refine 7th grade elixir, yin-yang golden pill. 7th grade elixir. Wasn't that equivalent to a 7th grade elixir? These fishes were really amazing. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes. These yin-yang fish, he should catch a few more. They were very helpful to him. It would be a waste if he didn't catch them. Cat, are there many of these yin-yang fish in the river? Mao shook her head and said, there aren't many of these fish in the river, only about 100 feet away. These fish all have their own territories. Just now, we entered its territory and launched an attack. Moreover, this fish isn't very powerful. It's just a very weak one. I've seen a very powerful big fish. It could go ashore, and even Mao can do it. Chapter 262. Devouring with Spirit Essence. Let's catch some if we can. Yang Hongwu said, it would be a pity to waste such a good opportunity. If he could catch 80 to 100 of them, then his strength would probably be able to break through to the mysterious embryo realm. All right. I like to eat them anyway. It would be great if we could feed them. Unfortunately, this is the only place that can raise them. Mao said, along the way, they would encounter attacks from the yin-yang fish from time to time. If they could catch them, they would catch them. If they couldn't beat them, they would run. Along the way, their harvest was not small. After about 4 hours, they finally came out of the underground river and saw the sun. Here, ancient trees towered into the sky. They were lush and full of vitality. What a paradise! Yang Hongwu couldn't help but sigh. This place seemed to be isolated from the world. The entire place was surrounded by ancient trees that towered into the clouds. Upon closer inspection, these ancient trees were quite shocking. They were all golden cedar wood. If placed outside, golden cedar wood would definitely be worth thousands of gold. It was an extremely precious wood that had many uses, especially such a huge golden cedar wood. It was extremely rare. If we go through here, we will reach the entrance of the tomb. Mao pointed at the golden cedarwood forest and said, "How far is it?" Looking at the golden cedarwood forest that towered into the clouds, Yang Hongwu frowned slightly. In this forest, only the heavens knew what existed. It was better to be careful. "It's not far, less than 10 li." Mao said. "It's just that there are a few demon trees in this forest. You need to be careful." Demon trees? Yang Hongwu wasn't too worried about this. He had even seen the heaven climbing vine before. Why would he be afraid of demon trees? If the demon trees dared to appear, they could be used as nourishment for his wooden stick. Perhaps it could make that wooden stick grow and sprout. That would be great. Other than the demon trees, there are no other dangers, right? Yang Hongwu asked. Mao shook her head. The most powerful and troublesome ones here are the demon trees. These demon trees are not ordinary demon trees. In this entire forest, they can move, and their speed is very fast. They can mobilize all the trees in the forest to attack. There was once a big back bull at the peak of the 6th level that entered this forest, and in an instant, not even its bones were left. Yang Hongwu shuddered when he heard that. A peak level 6 big back bull was extremely powerful. Even a primordial soul realm 4th step warrior would not dare to provoke it. Its defense was amazing. When it charged, it was even more terrifying. It could even collapse a small mountain. In this forest, not even bones were left behind. Should he consider changing to another route? That terrifying. If that's the case, is there a second way? Yang Hongwu hesitated for a moment before asking. Hearing this, Hua Qinshua also did not recommend Yang Hongwu to take this dangerous path. If they really encountered them, they probably wouldn't be able to escape. No, this is the only way. Unless we go back the way we came. But if we go back, there's no way to go back through that slope. So, we can only go forward. Mao shook her head. Little furry cat, are you trying to get us killed? The illusion cloud rat cried out at this moment. Shut up. Yang Hongwu glared at it, and the illusion cloud rat immediately shrank its head. Actually, Brother Yang, you don't have to worry. I can sense those demon trees. When they move over, we could just avoid them. Mao said. Hearing this, Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. That was good. Before the demon trees dared to come, they could escape. There was no problem. All right, let's go then. A long night is fraught with problems. Yang Hongwu said. Master, don't think about it. I feel that it's very dangerous here. The illusion cloud rat said. This little furry cat might be trying to get you killed. You shut up. Do you have any other choice now? Even though Yang Hongwu did not want to enter this forest, there was no way out. Even if there was danger ahead, he had to go. The illusion cloud rat was speechless. Indeed, there was no way out. A man, a cat, and a rat walked towards the forest. Yang Hongwu realized that after he walked into the forest, some of the essence of the trees surged towards Yang Hongwu. To be more precise, it was surging towards the wooden stick in his spiritual abode. And after that wooden stick absorbed the essence of the trees, it became green and full of vitality. Holy **T. If this went on, it could germinate without the longevity pool. This was an unexpected surprise. And that was not the only surprise. After the wooden stick absorbed the essence of the gold cedar ancient wood, it even nourished Yang Hongwu. This was the purest spirit qi. It nourished Yang Hongwu's physical body continuously. Some of the hidden injuries that were left behind when he broke through were being healed continuously. Unexpected to unexpected. His cultivation base was also increasing steadily. This was the best way to cultivate. It was even more comfortable and faster than cultivating in the Immortal Pagoda. He was about to break through. If this went on, he would be able to break through to the 8th level of the Purple Mansion realm soon. Big Brother Yang, you're amazing. You can actually absorb the essence of the wood spirit chi here. This is unbelievable. The cat opened its eyes wide and looked at Yang Hongwu in shock. It cannot believe it. The essence of the wood spirit chi here was not that easy to absorb, unless it was those old tree demons. But even those tree demons could not be so unscrupulous. However, this was a little troublesome. Yang Hongwu taking the essence of the wood spirit chi here was equivalent to cutting off the flesh of the old tree demons. How could they let go so easily? This is unbelievable. Master is too abnormal. The illusion cloud rat muttered to itself. Looking at its master, it was getting more and more mysterious and unbelievable. It thought that it knew enough, but it did not expect that he still had a trump card. And it was such a mysterious trump card. This master was indeed a person blessed by the heavens. Big Brother Yang, we have to leave quickly. Otherwise, it will be troublesome if those old tree demons come. You took their essence of the wood spirit chi. They will not let us go easily. The cat said anxiously. Okay, let's go. Yang Hongwu nodded. For Yang Hongwu, it was the same whether they left or not. As for absorbing the essence of the wood spirit chi, it was not something he could control. That wooden strip was very domineering. He had no ability to control it. Now that the wooden strip had occupied a place in his divine palace, there was no way to move it. This made Yang Hongwu worried. If this guy took over his divine palace and wanted to harm him, wouldn't that be a big problem? But at this point, it was useless to think too much. He could only hope that the wooden strip, the mysterious wooden strip, would not harm him. Yang Hongwu followed the cat and flew forward. At this time, there were several tree demons chasing after Yang Hongwu from all directions. Chapter 263. The domineering, nameless wooden stick. Oh no, we have to hurry. They're catching up. Mao Er's face changed. She sped up. Yang Hongwu also sped up. He used dragon soars through the 9 heavens and rushed forward. Dragon soars through the 9 heavens was only at the 5th level. Compared to Mao Er, his speed was much slower. Big Brother Yang, hurry up. They'll catch up soon. Mao Er saw Yang Hongwu's slow speed and urged him. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. He was already very fast. Golden Dragon War Body, activate. Mysterious Dragon 9 transformations. 4th transformation. Battle Spirit Possession. Yang Hongwu pushed his strength and speed to the limit. Oh no, it's too late. Mao Er's face changed. Just as she finished speaking, she saw a towering ancient tree appear in front of her. On top of the ancient tree, there was a huge face that looked very scary. Yang Hongwu only felt a green light shoot towards him. He wanted to take out a teleportation talisman and get ready to teleport away. But to Yang Hongwu's horror, he couldn't move at all. The green light was about to shoot between his eyebrows. He cried bitterly in his heart. Damn it, I'm going to die because of that wooden stick. Big Brother Yang, Mao Er cried out, wanting to help Yang Hongwu. The illusion cloud rat also rushed towards the green light, but the green light was too fast. It was too late. At this moment, Yang Hongwu had already closed his eyes, waiting for death to come. At this moment, the piece of wood in the divine dwellings moved and released a green light, which swallowed the green light that shot towards it. What? The tree demon let out a muffled cry. How is this possible? It cannot believe that this human was able to swallow its attack. What was that green light? Suddenly, its face changed and it kept retreating. Why do you have the aura of the Wood Sovereign? To be able to swallow its attack so easily, there was only one possibility. This human had something of the Wood Sovereign in his body. Only the Wood Sovereign had the ability to do so. Wood Sovereign? Yang Hongwu was stunned. The thing that absorbed the attack was the mysterious wooden stick in his spiritual abode. Could that wooden stick be the so-called branch of the Wood Sovereign? I don't know anything about the Wood Emperor. Yang Hongwu shook his head. Get out of my way. I don't want to get entangled with you. Move. Impossible. How can a human like you have the wood's sovereign's god? Give it to the treasure, or else all of you will die, the old tree demon yelled. At this moment, densely packed tree demons surrounded Yang Hongwu, Mao, and the illusionary cloud rat. They surrounded Yang Hongwu, Mao, and the illusionary cloud rat. They formed an airtight encirclement that was like a fortress. There was no way they could escape. Till this time, we might really die here. The illusory cloud rat said, to think that I, the sovereign beast, would end up being bullied to death by a tree demon. What are you mumbling about? Yang Hongwu glared at it and slapped its head. Believe it or not, I'll throw you over there. The illusion cloud rat fell silent. Big brother Yang, hold on tight to me. I'll take you out. Mao gritted her teeth and said, take me with you. The illusion cloud rat's eyes lit up. It was a delusion breaker dragon cat. Not only did it have the delusion breaker eye, but it also had the ability to travel through space. Although these tree demons were powerful, they did not have the ability to travel through the void. Yang Hongwu felt the wooden strip in his body send out a message. He rejected the cat and said, don't worry, I can deal with them. The reason being that the mysterious wooden strip had sent him a message telling him that he could deal with these people and allow him to recover his cultivation. Since that was the case, Lin Fan decided to give it a try. He wanted to see what the true origin of the wooden strip in his body was. Human, have you thought it through? If you don't hand over the treasure of the Lord Wood Emperor, I'm going to make my move. By then, I'll be able to obtain the treasure of the Lord Wood Emperor after killing you guys. The leading old tree demon said, what Wood Emperor? I don't know who he is, and I don't have the so-called treasure of the Wood Emperor. If you guys insist on stopping me, don't blame me for not being courteous. Yang Hongwu looked at these tree demons and said coldly, human, I think you're just courting death. Another tree demon was enraged. A gigantic branch that was like a long whip lashed out at Yang Hongwu. Watch out, Mao cried out. Yang Hongwu was feeling nervous as well. At this moment, a green glow appeared on Yang Hongwu's body. This green glow formed a vortex. That vortex was absorbing the essence chi of the wood spirits from the surroundings. The tree demon that was closest to Yang Hongwu was releasing the essence chi of the wood spirits from its body and gushing into Yang Hongwu's body. The other tree demons shrieked and retreated frantically. Damn it, what is this thing? They were regretting. They shouldn't have been so greedy. They shouldn't have come looking for this human. He was a devil. The tree demons struggled frantically, wanting to escape. However, the suction force was so horrifying that they couldn't move at all. There was no way for them to escape. Damned human, let go. Hurry up and let go. I don't want your treasure anymore. The tree demons shrieked. You want to leave now? Too late. Yang Hongwu scoffed coldly. How could there be such a good deal in this world? You wanted to rob, but you failed and got caught. Now, you want the other party to let you go? What a joke. The illusory cloud rat and the cat were stunned by the sudden change. The strength of these old tree demons was extremely terrifying. The strongest old tree demon had reached the level of a level 7 savage beast, which was equivalent to the cultivation of a human in the primordial spirit realm. However, these strong tree demons were begging for mercy one after another. The contrast was too great. At the start, they were still swaggering around like man-eating tigers. On the other hand, the other party was like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. In just a short while, the other party had changed targets. The lamb waiting to be slaughtered suddenly turned into a ferocious butcher and a hunter with a gun. Spare us, I won't dare to do it again. Spare us, I can give you treasures and spiritual herbs. I have a few stalks of grade 7 spiritual herbs here. I can give them to you. I can also give you spirit stones. Yes, spirit stones. I can give you spirit stones to help you humans cultivate. The tree demon begged for mercy. I can get them after killing you. Although Yang Hongwu said so, he was actually very tempted. However, the problem was that he couldn't control the vortex at all. It was impossible for him to stop the nameless wooden stick in his body from absorbing the wood spirit essence. It was because he had no choice that Yang Hongwu refused righteously. Human, do you really want to fight to the death with us? The old tree demon was furious. A green light shot out from his eyes. His aura began to grow, showing signs of breaking free from the vortex. This gave Yang Hongwu a shock. Chapter 264. Soulless Emperor No. Old tree demon screamed in horror. He didn't expect that he wouldn't even be able to perish together with Lin Fan. He was unwilling, extremely unwilling. I curse you. I curse you to die a horrible death. As soon as his voice fell, it turned into pure with spirit essence and fused into the green vortex. Yang Hongwu shuddered. His cultivation base had broken through. 8th level of the Purple Mansion realm. Before long, all of the tree demons had been devoured. Inside Yang Hongwu's god dwellings, the wooden stick sprouted and turned into a small tree. The small tree in Yang Hongwu's divine palace exuded a majestic vitality that expanded Yang Hongwu's divine palace considerably. The cat and the illusion cloud rat were dumbfounded. Freak, is he still human? You, big brother Yang Hongwu, you are really powerful. You killed all these old tree demons? Mao recovered after a long time. She looked at Yang Hongwu and couldn't believe her eyes. It's just that I happen to have something that can restrain them, Yang Hongwu said. Let's go, before we're too late. No, Mao said. We will definitely be the first ones to enter the tomb. Let's move on. In this forest, those old tree demons had all been eliminated. The originally gloomy forest had become bright and beautiful. The vitality in the air had also become denser. The branches and leaves of the gold, Phoebe, ancient trees began to spread. As a matter of fact, the old tree demons were basically enslaving the gold firmaments and absorbing all of the spiritual energy that the gold firmaments needed. As a result, the growth of these gold and ancient trees was slow. An hour later, under the guidance of the cat, Yang Hongwu arrived in front of a tall mountain peak. This mountain peak towered into the clouds, and an ancient and mysterious aura emanated from it. Yang Hongwu looked up and saw a huge tombstone in front of him. This huge tombstone had countless ancient restriction runes on it. These restriction runes looked very ancient. There were a few ancient words on the tombstone. Yang Hongwu had never seen these words before, but he could recognize them at first glance. Tomb of the Soulless Emperor. This is really the tomb of a great emperor? Soulless Emperor. I wonder who this Soulless Emperor is. Yang Hongwu looked at the ancient tombstone and muttered to himself. Big brother Yang, what did you say? Mao looked at Yang Hongwu curiously. There are words on the tombstone. The illusion, cloud, rat sti. You didn't see the words on the tombstone. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was very surprised. Why was he the only one who saw the words on the tombstone? If that's the case, then it was strange. No, the illusion cloud rat and the cat shook their heads. I didn't see it either, Hua Qinshu said. Am I the only one who saw it? Yang Hongwu frowned slightly. Whether this was a good thing or a bad thing, he did not know. Just as Yang Hongwu was pondering, a spatial fluctuation appeared. Someone is here. Yang Hongwu frowned. He didn't expect that there would still be people who could enter this place through spatial transmission. It was very dangerous to teleport here. If he wasn't careful, he would be teleported somewhere. If he was teleported to the lair of a level 7 savage beast, he would be dead. Someone is here before me. After the space fluctuated, a man appeared. He was wearing a gorgeous robe and had a fan in his hand. There was a simple jade pendant hanging from his waist and a golden crown on his head. He looked elegant and handsome, like a pretty boy. A cat, a rat, and a martial artist at Purple Mansion Realm Level 8. What an interesting combination. Zhou Yang was surprised when he saw Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu ignored him. He wasn't familiar with this guy. Zhou Yang's cultivation wasn't weak. He looked young, but his cultivation had reached the second step of the primordial spirit realm. His body was covered with a fiery aura. Yang Hongwu didn't know how he suppressed it, but he didn't have a fiery temper. This guy has the Fire 8 battle body. He cultivates the 9 Yang scripture. Hua Qinyi reminded Yang Hongwu. 9 Yang scripture? Yang Hongwu was stunned. Damn, did I enter the wuxiao world of Jin Dada? 9 Yang scripture? If that's the case, then there's also the 9 Yin scripture. Yes, The Nine Yang scripture is the ancient region's Zhang family's secret technique. This guy should be from the Zhang family. Hua Qinyi said, Ancient regions, Zhang family? How powerful is it? Yang Hongwu asked, Is it one of the top 10 families in the ancient region? That's right. Back then, the ancestor of the Zhang clan, Zhang Wuji, was a cowherd. Later on, he obtained the inheritance of an expert and cultivated the Nine Sons divine technique. He swept through the entire ancient domain and became a legend. Hua Qinyi said, However, the Zhang family has declined. It used to be the third strongest family in the ancient region. Now, it can only barely enter the top 10. Yang Hongwu's forehead was sweating when he heard Hua Qinyi's introduction. Zhang Wuji, Nine Yang divine art? Damn, is there Zhao Min and Zhou Zhuo? Zhang Wuji's wife can't be Zhao Min, right? Yang Hongwu asked, What Zhao Min? No, Zhang Wuji's wife is called Zhao Zhuo. Hua Qinyi said, There is such a person called Zhao Min, but Zhao Min is a deity of the Kunlun immortal abode. She has a high status. Even when Zhang Wuji swept the ancient region, he couldn't match her. Yang Hongwu opened his mouth, but didn't say anything. Zhao Min wasn't Zhang Wuji's wife. His wife was called Zhao Zhuo. Why wasn't she Zhou Zhuo? However, this didn't have much to do with him. This guy called Nine Sons didn't have anything to do with him. As long as he didn't provoke him, it would be fine. Otherwise, whatever Nine Sons divine art, he would beat him up. Hey, your cat looks pretty good. It's quite cute. Zhang Zhuyang, was about to say something when the space fluctuated again. A few people appeared not far away. This time, there were a total of 5 people. Following these people, another wave of fluctuations appeared. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. They were the first to arrive. However, so many people had appeared before he even entered the tomb. Moreover, these people were all very strong. Oh, are the people from the 4 great academies all here? Zhang Zhuyang narrowed his eyes and looked at the people who appeared not far away. Zhang Zhuyang, you're here first. A man's voice sounded. This person was also a second-step primordial spirit realm cultivator. He had an afro and wore a cloak. His pair of hooked eyebrows were particularly eye-catching. Storm, you're the only one from the Tianyi Academy? Zhang Zhuyang sneered. Is there no one else in the Tianyi Academy? Chapter 265. Goodbye Zetian. How strong is your phone clan? Zhang Zhuyang angrily said. Look at you, you're just a Maine pig. Storm's face darkened. This bastard actually dared to call him a Maine pig. How despicable. Do you want to die? I'll fulfill your wish then. Who's afraid of you? Shut up. All of you, a deep male voice said. Yin Peng, I didn't expect you to come too. At this moment, a voice came from afar. This voice was very familiar to Yang Hongwu. Zetian, this guy is a Zetian. She didn't expect him to be here. Yang Hongwu's eyes narrowed as he looked at the newcomer. He was wearing a long purple robe. It was Zetian of the Qingyun sect, the Zetian who had forced him out of the Heavenly Dragon sect. This time, it was really unexpected. Yang Hongwu looked at Zetian. This guy's strength had actually reached the 3rd step primordial spirit realm. Powerful. He was indeed powerful. The primordial spirit realm of the 3rd step was equivalent to an inner court elder of the Tianyi Academy. Zetian, have you finished your closed-door training? Yin Peng narrowed his eyes. Zetian was one of his rivals. Among the younger generation, there weren't many people who could catch Yin Peng's eye, and Zetian was one of them. Of course, how can I, Zetian, miss out on such a big event? Zetian smiled faintly. You've already obtained the inheritance of Honorable Tao Tai. Yet, you still want to get your hands on the inheritance of Honorable Sang Hun? Yin Peng sneered. Aren't you afraid that you'll die from overeating here? Die from overeating? You want me, Zetian, to die from overeating with these things? What a joke. As for you, Yin Peng, don't die here when the time comes. However, it's not a bad choice to have a venerable's tomb as your burial ground, said Zetian. I want to see whose grave it is. Yin Peng was infuriated when he heard that. This bastard was actually so arrogant. However, the Tao Tai battle body was extraordinary, and he was wary of it. Yang Hongwu noticed that Zetian was looking at him. He didn't want to attract Zion's attention at this time. This Zion is too strong. At present, I don't have absolute confidence in dealing with him. Zion paused on Yang Hongwu for a moment and then moved away. Yang Hongwu was in disguise at this time, so Zion couldn't see through him at all. One must know that Yang Hongwu had recently become famous in the Celestial Academy. How can I miss out on such a good thing? At that instant, a crisp voice was heard as a woman in revealing clothes approached them. She had a butterfly mark on her forehead, giving her a seductive and enchanting appearance. UDGAO. Everyone's expression changed. UDGAO was a member of the demonic sect, the saintess of the demonic sect. The demonic sect's power wasn't any weaker than the 4 great academies. If it wasn't for the fact that the demonic sect was independent, the demonic sect would have already unified the entire ancient desolate continent. Currently, the entire ancient desolate continent was divided into 2 regions. One was the eastern continent led by the 4 great academies, and the other was the western continent led by the demonic sect. In fact, if one's strength hadn't reached that level, they wouldn't know about the western continent. Every time the 4 great academies and the 7 great sects held the ancient desolate continent's genius assembly, it was actually to compete with the demonic sect in the western continent. A real battle would consume a lot of energy, and neither side could afford it. Therefore, the younger generation's geniuses were chosen to compete. As the saintess of the demonic sect, how could UDGAO come alone? Since the people of the devil sect knew about this great tomb, how could they have come alone? Sister Jiaoer, you're here first. Another voice was heard. This voice carried a cold, murderous aura. Hearing it from afar, one couldn't help but shiver. Senior Brother Mo, what are you talking about? I've just arrived. UDGAO said. A man in black appeared in front of everyone. This person was very powerful. He was at the peak of 3rd step primordial spirit realm. He was just 1 step away from 4th step primordial spirit realm. His aura was much stronger than Zion and Yunpeng. Mo Chantian, he's Mo Chantian. Among the 4 great academies, there were people who knew Mo Chantian. Once they heard this name, their faces changed. Mo Chantian, what a domineering name. Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. What a guy. Once this name came out, even Yunpeng and Zion's faces turned ugly. It seemed like this guy's strength was too strong. Yunpeng and Zion wouldn't be a match for him. There might even be a huge gap between them. Yo, I heard that these are the 2 super geniuses of the Eastern continent, Yunpeng and Zion. TSK, I don't think they're that strong. Mo Chantian looked at the 2 with a mocking face. Do you want to fight? The 2 of you can come at me together. How domineering. He actually dared to say that he wanted the 2 of them to come at him together. One should know that Zion and Yunpeng were almost equivalent to the strongest geniuses in the entire Eastern continent. If the 2 of them were to join forces, even 4th step primordial spirit realm experts wouldn't be a match for them. Mo Chantian was so presumptuous and domineering. Was his strength really enough to contend with 4th step primordial spirit realm experts? Zion and Yunpeng's faces turned green when they heard this. Damn it, he was simply a bastard. He didn't take the 2 of them seriously at all. However, they had to admit that Mo Chantian's strength was really strong. In addition, he had a powerful weapon in his hand. Once that weapon was used, an ordinary 4th step primordial spirit realm expert would be killed. If they had the soul-devouring bone spear, their strength would be enough to contend with Mo Chantian. They might even be able to defeat him with their combat body. Damn it, it's all that damned Yang Hongwu's fault. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be in this state. If it wasn't for him, they would have obtained the soul-devouring bone spear. If it wasn't for him, they would have obtained Hu Xiu'er and Zheng Qiushuan's combat body bloodline to make up for their flaws and make a breakthrough in their combat body to the point of perfection. Damn it, it's all that damned Yang Hongwu's fault. It's all his fault. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have suffered such humiliation in front of so many people. For a super genius, especially a genius like Zion, who thought himself infallible, to suffer such humiliation, he would feel extremely unhappy in his heart. Yunpeng also felt very uncomfortable. He was a dignified genius. When had he ever suffered such humiliation? Had he ever suffered such humiliation? However, he had no confidence in facing Emochantian now. Even if he teamed up with Ztion, he still wouldn't have any confidence in defeating Emochantian. Of course, although he couldn't defeat Emochantian, it was impossible for him to kill him. Emochantian, don't go too far. Ztion stared at Emochantian and said angrily, "Don't think that you're invincible just because you have a broken immortal weapon. It's just a broken immortal weapon. When I find the body of the soul-devouring bone spear, I'll definitely kill you." Chapter 266. The Opening of the Great Tomb. Coward? Coward. Emochantian said with disdain. No matter how tolerant they were unable to tolerate such a situation. Just as Yun Peng and Ztion were about to speak and fight to the death with the other party, an earth-shattering sound rang out in everyone's ears. Rumble. The mountain actually split apart, revealing a long and narrow passageway. After the dust settled, the passageway appeared before everyone's eyes. The huge change attracted everyone's attention. Emochantian, who had been provoking Ztion and Yun Peng, no longer bothered with them. Beside the long and narrow passage, there were statues of Yikshas and Asuras. They looked ferocious and terrifying. A bloody and murderous aura blew in their faces. The most terrifying thing wasn't the Yikshas and Asuras, but the soul-devouring beasts in the middle of the passage. These soul-devouring beasts were filled with a violent and destructive aura. Puppets, these are puppets. Everyone took a deep breath. Yikshas, Asuras, and soul-devouring beasts were just the entrance of the passage. How difficult would it be to enter? I'm afraid it's impossible for one person to kill his way in. We can only fight our way in if we work together. Yu Dai Jiao said, "How about you give me some face and put aside the grudges between us until we break the passage and enter the tomb? Since Sister Jiao Er said so, I'll give you some face. I won't make things difficult for you two trash." Emochantian looked at Yun Peng and Ztion and said, "You don't think that I'm afraid of you. Although you have a broken immortal artifact, and I admit that I'm not your opponent, it's impossible for you to kill us. If the two of us work together and go all out, it's hard to say who will win." Yun Peng said, All right. Stop arguing. Let's think about how to open the passage first." Yu Dai Jiao glanced at them coldly and said, "If anyone dares to cause trouble, you're not giving me any face." Women were not to be offended, especially this kind of crazy and reckless woman. There was once a super genius from the Eastern continent who had flirted with UDGAO and infuriated her. Back then, UDGAO was only at the 8th level of the arcane embryo realm, while that genius was already at the 3rd step of the primordial spirit realm. In order to kill him, UDGAO disregarded everything and invited the ancestral spirit to kill that genius. Summoning the ancestral spirit came at a great price. It cost UDGAO 90% of her lifespan and a supreme grade celestial artifact. Even the leaders of the 4 great universities might not be able to bear such a price. Yet UDGAO had done it. Moreover, she had to face the wrath of a major power. Therefore, such a crazy woman was not to be trifled with. One was the holy virgin of the demonic sect, while the other was the holy son of the demonic sect. Both of them were terrifyingly strong. Although there were only 2 people from the devil sect, these 2 people gave the Eastern continent a huge amount of pressure. This was something Yang Hongwu could hardly believe. Yang Hongwu had heard that the devil sect was powerful, but he had never imagined that it would be so powerful. However, all of this had nothing to do with him. When he became stronger, Emochantian, the devil sect, and the 4 great universities would all be nothing. At this moment, Yang Hongwu felt an indescribable satisfaction when he saw Ztion's pig liver face. Who told you to be arrogant? Now you can't be arrogant anymore. What Yang Hongwu did not expect was that Ztion happened to notice his gloating expression. Ztion was furious. "I can't take care of Emochantian, but you're just a purple mansion realm cultivator. Can't I take care of you?" He grabbed at Yang Hongwu with his big hand. Yang Hongwu cursed his bad luck when he saw this. "Why am I so unlucky? Did this Ztion recognize me? That's impossible. However, regardless of whether he was exposed or not, Yang Hanwu was not the kind of person who would sit still and wait for death. He threw out a punch and crushed a small teleportation talisman in an instant, teleporting outside. Even so, Yang Hanwu suffered a heavy blow. He felt something sweet in his throat and spat out a mouthful of blood. Good boy, you have some skills. Ztion was extremely surprised. He never imagined that he was unable to capture a fellow with a cultivation that was only at the Violet Palace realm. He was extremely depressed in his heart, and when he looked at the gazes of ridicule in the surroundings, he felt even more aggrieved. Nothing goes well, and everyone wants to go against me. However, I, Ztion, want to catch you. Where are you going to hide? Ztion said angrily. He once again tried to grab Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu was about to escape, but at this time, a ribbon blocked in front of Yang Hongwu. UDGAO, what do you mean by this? Ztion's attack was blocked, and he was furious. I'm just trying to catch a person who is not from the Devil Sect. Why are you stopping me? I like him. Can't I? UDGAO said. You. Ztion was so angry that he was speechless. What a bastard. What about me? Can't I? UDGAO said. Mo Rantion. Your woman seduced a man in front of you. Can you swallow this anger? Ztion looked at Mo Rantion and said loudly. Mo Rantion's face changed when he heard Ztion's words. Ztion, you bastard. Even if you want to die, don't drag me down with you. Although Mo Rantion was the first holy son of the Devil Sect and had the possibility of becoming the holy son, he was still lacking compared to UDGAO. One had to know that UDGAO was already the holy daughter of the Devil Sect. It was just that other than the inner circle of the Devil Sect, no one knew about it. However, Mo Rantion was well aware of all of this. Senior brother Mo, when did I become your woman? Why didn't I know about it? Also, he said that the man I like is a bastard. How do you think I should deal with him? Although there was a faint smile on UDGAO's face, Mo Rantion knew that UDGAO was truly furious. This bastard is talking nonsense. How can I be worthy of Junior Sister? Although I've admired Junior Sister for a long time, I still know my own limits. As for this bastard, he dares to talk nonsense. I'll help Junior Sister deal with him. Junior Sister and this junior brother, I can guarantee that no one will dare to disturb you. Mo Rantion hurriedly apologized. Then, he turned to Ztion and said, Ztion, you really don't know what's good for you. How dare you scold my junior sister and the man she likes? Today, I'll see what the super genius of the Eastern continent is capable of. Ztion's mouth twitched. His face turned green again. Damn it, how could this be? Didn't Mo Rantion like UDGAO? Why didn't he get angry when UDGAO was with another man and protecting him so intimately? Why did he have to bow and apologize? Wasn't he the first holy son of the Devil Sect? The strongest person in the younger generation? How could this be? Chapter 267. A Big Hand. Mo Chantian rushed towards Ztion with a black landscape painting in his hand. It was Mo Chantian's immortal tool. Although it was a broken immortal tool, its power was not as simple as it looked. Even if it was a broken immortal tool, it was still much more powerful than a heavenly tool. Damn it! Ztion's face turned solemn. This bastard is serious. I'm not his match. He called out to Yin Peng and said, Yin Peng, let's work together to defeat this guy. Otherwise, we'll have nothing to do with this great tomb. Yin Peng cursed in his heart. It's all your fault. Why did you provoke that guy? However, he had to take action because Ztion was telling the truth. Mo Chantian's strength was similar to theirs. Even if he was stronger, it was only by a little. However, he had an immortal tool in his hand. Good. Mo Chantian was not afraid when he saw Yun Peng and Ztion attacking together. Instead, he was full of confidence. The black landscape painting in his hand opened up. The grass and trees seemed to have come alive. Dots of light shot out from the painting, turning into a terrifying killing weapon. Taodai Battle Body, activate! Ztion seemed to have turned into a giant ancient beast. The legendary Taodai had a huge mouth that could devour everything. Yinpeng also moved. He activated his battle body at the same time. A giant rock appeared behind him. It was the shadow of an ancient immortal rock. It was rumored to be the descendant of the Kuan Peng. This ancient immortal rock was no weaker than Taodai. The immortal rock spread its wings and flapped them. A strong wind blew. A terrifying wind blade condensed and rushed towards the black landscape painting. Both of them were the top geniuses of the younger generation. They were very powerful and were not weaker than the elders of the older generation. Moreover, the two of them cooperated very well, as if they were born brothers with the same mind. Yang Hongwu was stunned by the battle. He did not expect Udgao to help him block Zi Tian's attack. She even said that she was his man. Yang Hongwu was puzzled. Am I that eye-catching? Was he ruthless and handsome? No, although he was a little handsome, it was not to the extent that everyone would fall in love with him. Could it be that Udgao was a love-struck fool? This was simply impossible. As the holy virgin of the devil's sect, how could she be so simple? How could she be a love-struck fool? He took a deep breath. Could it be that this woman had seen through some of his secrets? Yang Hongwu didn't doubt that at all. There are people in this world who could see through his constitution and his disguise. My little brother, come with me. I'll protect you. Yu Dai's enchanting figure and fiery figure exuded boundless charm as she gracefully walked, causing people to feel hot all over. Yang Hongwu's face was full of black lines. That's not a good word. Besides, you're just a little girl who hasn't tried it before. What do you know? How is it small? That was utter nonsense. For the sake of the word little, I can't go with you. Well, thank you for your help, Fairy Yu, Yang Hongwu said. I'm weak, so I won't be a burden to you. Fairy Yu, I like this name. Do you know that you're the first person to call me this? From now on, you'll be the only one to call me this. It's your exclusive name. Udgao's eyes lit up when she heard that. She looked at Yang Hongwu with a strange expression. Her bell-like laughter showed how happy she was. She was not pretending. She was genuinely happy and happy. Her smile came from the bottom of her heart. Only Udgao knew how happy she felt. It had been a long time since she was so happy. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. Was this girl really a love-struck fool? It was a pity that such a powerful girl was actually a love-struck fool. If it was any other time, it would be a good thing to have such a beautiful girl following him. Even if she was the holy maiden of a devil's sect, it wouldn't matter. However, he couldn't do that now. He was going to enter the Great Tomb to obtain treasures and inheritances. With Udgao following him, he wouldn't be able to use many of his skills. His mobility would be greatly reduced. Not good, really not good. Moreover, Yang Hongwu didn't know what this girl was trying to do. He didn't have the ability to read minds. There was no way to see through people's hearts. Even if this girl was very beautiful, Yang Hongwu wasn't willing to take the risk. Therefore, Yang Hongwu ignored Udgao. He turned around and walked towards the Great Tomb's entrance. You have a personality. I like it. However, my good little brother, you won't be able to escape from my palm. Udgao also chased after Yang Hongwu. Seeing Yang Hongwu and Udgao walking towards the entrance, the others didn't directly rush in. Those who could enter this place were all geniuses with great strength and talent. Therefore, they wouldn't take the risk first. This was a great tomb of a venerable. It might even be the tomb of a stronger expert. How could it be so easy to enter? It was best that these two were willing to explore the way. His divine dwelling had been cultivated to the great perfection realm, and he had condensed a trace of primordial spirit. Although he hadn't formed a real primordial spirit, his perception was much stronger than ordinary people. Yang Hongwu was very confident about this. Even those old guys who had entered the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm couldn't compare to his perception. In addition, he had Hua, Qinxue, Mao and the illusory cloud rat with him. Needless to say, Hua Qinxue was once a super genius of the Hua clan. She could be said to be very knowledgeable. The illusory cloud rat knew a lot. It was a rat that had lived for God knows how long. The origin of the cat was even more mysterious. The delusion destruction chinchilla had a mysterious origin and possessed the ability to manipulate space. He had been to the entrance of this ancient tomb many times. Even if he wasn't particularly familiar with it, he still knew a lot about it. Yang Hongwu was speechless when he realized that this girl had caught up with him. However, it didn't matter if she caught up with him, as long as she was fast enough. After communicating with Hua Qianxue, Yang Hongwu found that these puppets, such as the Yixas and Azuras, were relatively low level. Of course, their strength actually changed according to the strength of their opponent. If you were strong, they would be strong. If you were weak, they would be weak. This was similar to the last stage of the Outer Disciple Challenge competition in Sky Dragon Sect. However, these Yixas and Azuras were much stronger. Moreover, they didn't rely on their aura. No matter what living thing it was, as long as it entered the attack range, it would be subjected to a terrifying attack. Just as Yang Hongwu was about to step into the passage, a huge hand suddenly appeared in the sky and grabbed at Yang Hongwu. Chapter 268. Chapter 268 Into the Tomb. Damn it, what is this? Yang Hongwu looked at the huge hand that was grabbing at him from the void. He had no way to block it. That aura was too terrifying. At this moment, a gray arrow shot out from the great tomb. The arrow hit the giant hand in the air and turned into a ripple before disappearing. As for Yang Hongwu, he felt an aura enveloping him as a power poured into his body. His cultivation base kept breaking through 1 level, 2 levels. Mystic Embryo Realm. In an instant, he broke through the shackles of the Mystic Embryo stage and reached the first level of the Mystic Embryo stage. Yang Hongwu was ecstatic. There was actually such a good thing. He originally thought that the aura would be harmful to him, but who would have thought that it would give him such a great benefit? UDGAO and the others were stunned by this scene. Wasn't this brat's luck too good? Under such circumstances, not only did he not die, but his cultivation had also increased. Yang Hongwu, however, when he made a breakthrough in his cultivation, his disguise was removed and he regained his original appearance. Seeing Yang Hongwu's face, Zitian's eyes burned with anger. Little bastard, it's you. Zitian glared at Yang Hongwu, her eyes filled with hatred. Give me my soul-devouring bone staff. Yang Hongwu knew something was wrong. At this time, Zitian rushed toward Yang Hongwu recklessly. Zitian, you are so arrogant. Your opponent is me, and you want to leave before the fight is over? However, Moratsky didn't care whether he was Yang Hongwu or not. They only knew that this kid was favored by you, DGAO. The matter just now wasn't over yet. If this kid went to trouble Yang Hongwu again, they wouldn't have a good life in the future. Zitian was furious. Get out of my way, Mo Chantian. I don't want to be entangled with you. My target is Yang Hongwu. He snatched my bone staff, which belongs to me. If you want to stop me, then don't blame me for being rude. Although I'm not your opponent for the time being, if I go all out, you won't be able to gain any benefits. At that time, both sides will suffer, and your position in the Devil's Doctrine will not be good. Zitian's aura kept rising. Her hair spread out and moved with the wind. A pair of eyes stared at Yang Hongwu. This bastard, not only did he snatch away his bone staff, but what was even more hateful was that he actually hooked up with his fiancée. Zheng Xiaoshuang was also a shameless bitch. She actually mixed up with this little bastard Yang Hongwu. Thinking of this, Zitian was furious. Mo Chantian looked at this guy who seemed to be going crazy. He frowned. He really didn't want to risk his life to fight with this crazy Zitian. However, Mo Chantian wouldn't back down. You wanted to back down, so I'll back down. How could there be such an easy thing? You could go if you want, but what about the matter just now? Mo Chantian couldn't wait to see him fight with UDGAO. Now UDGAO's status was higher than his. In the Devil's Doctrine, she was his biggest opponent among the younger generation. However, before he became the saint, his status was lower than hers. Moreover, the power behind her was much stronger than his. If it wasn't for this bastard's words, he wouldn't have to do this. Here, Zitian threw out a porcelain bottle. This is a drop of the longevity pool's water. Zitian felt his heart ache. The longevity pool's water could save his life at a critical moment. However, in order to catch Yang Hongwu and take back his bone staff, Zetian had no choice but to take it out. Enchantian was satisfied. A drop of the longevity pool's water was too rare. He didn't expect that Yang Hongwu no, that bone staff, would be so valuable in Zetian's eyes. The soul-devouring bone staff. Could it be that it was an incredible weapon? Was it also a broken immortal tool? Enchantian's eyes rolled, but he said, "All right, since you're so sincere, I won't stop you." Enchantian, senior brother Emo, you're letting him go just like that? You want him to deal with my man? Are you going to completely fall out with me? UDGAO said at this time. Enchantian's mouth twitched. F***CK. Could it be that this young lady has really taken fancy to this Yang Hongwu? Before he came, he knew that there was a Tier 7 Pill King in the ancient desolate continent. However, he didn't know that this person was Yang Hongwu. If he knew, he definitely wouldn't have agreed to Zetian's conditions. In comparison, the value of a drop of the longevity pool's water couldn't be compared to a favor from a Tier 7 Pill King. That, you see, it was a misunderstanding. He also admitted his mistake. This matter has nothing to do with me. I say, junior sister, do you really like this kid? Lin Fan had to admit that this brat was pretty lucky. His cultivation base had broken through in such a short period of time. What was the background of that gigantic hand? The mysterious aura in the tomb was so terrifying that it was able to disperse the gigantic hand. Was it all related to this brat? This guy had a lot of secrets. Could he be the inheritor of this great tomb? Whether or not he was, he could use this opportunity to see the relationship between this kid and the great tomb. He also wanted to see if there were any terrifying experts in the great tomb. If Yang Hongwu was really the inheritor of this great tomb, it would be good for him to fight with Zetian. Whether he died or Zetian died, it would be good for the demonic sect. His name is Yang Hongwu. Didn't you hear clearly? He's the new Pill King in the Eastern Continent. UDGAO said. Pill King? He's the young new Pill King? Enchantian asked in surprise. He knew that there was a new Pill King in the Eastern Continent. He was the only Pill King in the ancient desolate continent. A Pill King's status was extremely high. If he could get a Tier 7 Pill King, he would have a chance to break through the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm and step into the real primordial spirit realm level 1. Many old guys had this idea. Some of the old guys in the demonic sect who were nearing the end of their lifespan even planned to attack the Tianyi Academy and snatch the Pill King. They didn't expect that this Pill King would be so young and appear here. That's right. My initial guess was right. If we can get him to come to our western continent, it won't be a problem for a demonic sect to unify the entire ancient desolate continent. UDGAO said. If that's the case, we can't let Zetian do anything to him. A cold light flashed in Enchantian's eyes. A Tier 7 Pill King's favor was much more valuable than a drop of longevity pond water. Although the longevity pond water was good and could even save a life at a critical moment, could it help him break through to the primordial spirit realm? No, it couldn't. Although the longevity pond water was good, it couldn't compare to a breakthrough in his cultivation and a favor from a Pill King. At this moment, Yang Hongwu let go. Since his identity had been exposed, there was no need to hide anymore. He activated his battle constitution and martial strength. Dragon Soars to the 9 heavens was pushed to the extreme. He turned into 5 golden dragons and rushed in 5 directions. Chapter 269. Chapter 269, Uncanny Passage Z. Tian punched out. The power of this punch was terrifying, as though it came from the ancient continent. It broke through all shackles and devoured all living things. Even space was shattered, forming a small black hole. Yang Hongwu roared, "Divine Dragon, Demon-Suppressing Talisman, suppress him." A golden talisman flew out of Yang Hongwu's divine palace and turned into a golden suppress character. This character emitted a golden glow and formed a mysterious protection that blocked the terrifying fist energy. However, the difference in strength was too great. Yang Hongwu was still sent flying. However, to everyone's surprise, Yang Hongwu flew into the tomb's passageway. Zetian, thank you for giving me a ride. I will return that punch to you. Zheng Xiaoshuang is my woman, and so is Hu Xiaoer. They are all my women. 3 months later, at the ancient desolate continent genius assembly, I will kill you personally. I will let you know what a genius is, and who is the true king of the ancient desolate continent. Damn it, do you think you can run away? Zion's heart skipped a beat, and his face turned ferocious. He was a third-step primordial spirit realm cultivator, yet he was unable to take down a warrior who had just entered the mystic embryo realm. How could he not be angry? Moreover, this guy had even threatened to kill him. He actually wanted to snatch a woman from him. Zheng Qiushuang, that be *TCH, that shameless be *TCH, also deserves to die. Zion's veins bulged, and his eyes flashed with fury. He rushed toward the tomb passage and followed behind Yang Hongwu. No wonder. Hearing this, Imo Ran Tian smiled. No wonder Zion was so angry with Yang Hongwu. Even if he gave him a drop of the longevity pond water, he still wanted to kill Yang Hongwu. So it was because of the hatred of stealing his wife. This kid was ruthless enough. However, he seemed to have a way with women. Although UDGAO didn't say it, one could see that she was interested in Yang Hongwu. It wasn't as simple as his identity as a pill king. Let's go. We can't let Zion kill Yang Hongwu. UDGAO quickly chased after them. When the others saw that Zion, Imo Ran Tian, and the others had entered the tunnel, they couldn't care less. Those who were strong rushed in front, and the others followed behind. He was afraid that if he went in too late, the item would be snatched away by others, and the inheritance would be snatched away. Although they had seen the giant hand blocking Yang Hongwu from entering the tomb, they didn't think it was to protect Yang Hongwu. Instead, they thought it was the master of the tomb. It was to protect the person who had entered his tomb and obtained his inheritance. It was for the sake of his successor. They knew how powerful the gigantic hand was. It came from a void and was extremely terrifying. It was the power of a Zune cultivator, a god. Only a Zune cultivator or a god could be so terrifying. How powerful would the inheritance of a Zune cultivator or a god be? Therefore, after seeing someone enter, the others rushed forward, afraid that they would be too late. Yang Hongwu didn't have the time to care about others. At this time, Yang Hongwu entered the tunnel and stepped on the first step. Suddenly, a terrifying pressure was released. Zhenqi. The Zhenqi in his body disappeared. Yang Hongwu was shocked. What's going on? Zhenqi disappeared? Then, can I only rely on my strong body? No, that's not right. I still have the power of my divine sense and primordial spirit. Like Yang Hongwu, the others who came in later also changed their expressions, including Zion, Imo Ran Tian, and UDGAO. Everyone's Zhenqi was suppressed. My Zhenqi disappeared. Damn it, what's going on? I can't feel my Zhenqi either. Here, my Zhenqi is suppressed. Damn it, how can this be? One by one, they cursed. If a martial artist couldn't use Zhenqi, they would definitely be very uncomfortable and scared. It was like a person who suddenly went blind. Yang Hongwu saw their expressions and was amused. Well, it's not just my Zhenqi that is suppressed. Everyone's Zhenqi is suppressed. Then, won't I be the one who benefits? This was his greatest advantage. Right now, the power of his consciousness and the power of his essence spirit were definitely the strongest out of all of them. Even if they are in the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm, they don't have the power of the primordial spirit. They only have the power of divine sense. In addition to himself, he also had helpers. One was the cat, the illusory cloud rat. In addition to them, he also had other helpers, such as the Dopping Golden Eagle, the 9 Frost Centipede, and so on. After connecting this point, Yang Hongwu was not worried at all. In the worst-case scenario, he still had the talisman. His talisman should be able to be used, right? Originally, Yang Hongwu planned to deal with the Zetian here, but he didn't expect that all the Azuras and Yikshas had come to life. This made Yang Hongwu's face change greatly. Damn it! Without Zhenqi, how could these Azuras and Yikshas resist? Yang Hongwu was facing Yiksha. This Yiksha's momentum was not strong, but it had reached the mysterious embryo realm. Golden Dragon War Body, activate. Vigor Technique, activate. Omnidirectional Killing Fist, advent of the Killing God. A fierce and overbearing killing fist was thrown out, and a powerful force burst out. The pure physical strength was condensed with killing intent, the power of divine sense, and the power of primordial spirit contained in it. With this punch, a god of death condensed. The overbearing, murderous intent of the god of death blasted the Yiksha to death. Zetian and the others were also entangled by the Yikshas and Asuras. Yang Hongwu looked at the endless stream of Asuras and Yikshas and frowned. At this time, it was better to leave. Although it was the best time to kill Zetian, if he was late, he might be surrounded. Moreover, his purpose this time was to obtain the treasures and inheritance in the tomb. This was the tomb of a great emperor. If he could obtain his inheritance, he would be able to soar to the sky. As for Zetian, if he defeated him in front of everyone in the genius competition, it would be a big blow to him. Thinking of this, Yang Hongwu sped up and used his movement skill. The dragon swimming in the 9 heavens movement skill did not require Jinshi, but it could still burst out with amazing speed. Zetian watched Yang Hongwu leave, and he was very angry. Damn bastard. Wait until I get the inheritance of the venerable god. Then I'll kill you. Zetian punched a Yeksha that was rushing towards him. Those with strong physical bodies had the advantage here, but the others were not so lucky. The Asuras and Yeksha's puppets were merciless. In an instant, the dozens of people who entered the passage screamed miserably. Many of them died at the hands of the Asuras and Yikshas. The death rate was very high. In just a short time, almost half of the dozens of people had died. Most of them were brought by Zetian and Yunpeng. Moreover, these people were all elites and geniuses. Because the Morning Soul Mountains had restrictions, if one was not a genius, one would be killed. Chapter 270. Primordial mystic Method Yang Hongwu relied on his advantage to avoid the attacks of those Azura Yikshas. Soon, they arrived at the end of the passageway. The final trial, the soul-devouring beast. Yang Hongwu furrowed his brows at the sight of the soul-devouring beast. It was a soul-devouring beast. King Hell, devouring souls. That was extremely dangerous. You can also devour it. Hua Qinshue's voice rang in Yang Hongwu's mind. These words caused Yang Hongwu's entire body to tremble. That's right. How could he have forgotten? The dragon soul, devour the heavens. TSK. This secret technique could definitely deal with the soul-devouring beast. Devour. Since you want to devour me, then let me devour you first. Perhaps he might even be able to break through the spiritual refinement heart sutra and condense a primordial spirit. Yang Hongwu strode into the soul-devouring beast's attack range. The soul-devouring beast immediately opened its eyes. The soul-devouring beast's mouth was like a mosquito's with a long straw. Its body was like a bat's, and it flew at an astonishing speed. Don't let that straw stab you. Mao are reminded. This soul-devouring beast straw could devour the power of the soul. Yang Hongwu nodded and said, I understand. He suddenly punched out and hit the soul-devouring beast body. After the soul-devouring beast was sent flying, it swayed a bit before charging forward again. Dragon soul devour the heavens. Devour! Yang Hongwu roared, and a golden dragon appeared above Yang Hongwu's head. With a roar, it charged towards the soul-devouring beast. He opened his big mouth and swallowed a soul-devouring beast into his stomach. Crack! Crack! This was the soul-devouring beast. After the dragon's soul devoured it, it turned into pure soul energy. While it continued to strengthen Yang Hongwu's soul, a part of it also turned into pure consciousness power. Wow, it's really helpful. Yang Hongwu could feel that his soul had become stronger, and the power of his primordial spirit had also been strengthened a little. A soul-devouring beast was killed. Yang Hongwu targeted another one. The dragon soul devour the heavens was used again, and another soul-devouring beast was devoured. The power of the primordial spirit increased again. The few people who had killed the Azura Yaksha with great difficulty were all dumbfounded when they saw Yang Hongwu chasing after the soul-devouring beast. Mother Kerr, who was this person? He was only at the first level of the arcane embryo realm, but he was so strong and savage, chasing after the soul-devouring beast. Zetion's expression was ugly as well. Just what kind of cultivation technique did this guy cultivate? That golden dragon soul actually devoured the soul-devouring beast. Who was the Taoist? Even with his Tao-Tai battle body, he could devour as well. But he couldn't do it so brazenly. Did he not to digesting it? Is he devouring beast? He had not even finished off all the Azura Yakshas, and this bastard had already finished off all the soul-devouring beasts. The others were not in the same mood as Zetion. They had a good impression of Yang Hongwu. The Azura Yakshas were already so powerful, causing them to suffer heavy losses. If they were to face the soul-devouring beasts, wouldn't their losses be even greater? After Yang Hongwu devoured all the soul-devouring beasts, his body shook. A primordial spirit condensed in his spiritual abode. This primordial spirit was in the shape of a small person. The golden primordial spirit was exactly the same as Yang Hongwu. As soon as the primordial spirit was formed, Yang Hongwu's aura changed. To outsiders, this change was just a little bit. They could not tell what the change was. However, only Yang Hongwu knew that the change could be described as earth-shattering. His combat power was many times stronger than before. Now, he did not need to rely on the battle spirit possession to kill arcane embryo realm level 8, level 9, and even level 10. If he used the battle spirit possession to erupt with the strongest power, he would be able to fight against a level 1 or level 2 primordial spirit realm. Now, although it was not enough to kill Zetion, there was no need to be afraid of him. Unless Zetion snatched the bone staff back from him and let him control the real soul-devouring bone spear, his strength would increase exponentially, and he might be able to kill Yishuan. However, would Yishuan given the chance? The body of the soul-devouring bone spear and the soul-devouring bone staff were in Yishuan's hands. Of course, if Yishuan had enough strength and power, he would give the soul-devouring bone staff to him at the genius competition and defeat him. That would be very satisfying. After condensing the primordial spirit, Yang Hongwu was very satisfied. If Zetion came to provoke him at this time, he would not mind teaching him a lesson. At this time, Yang Hongwu felt a strong suction force. In an instant, he was teleported into a large hall. In this large hall, a statue appeared. This statue was of a woman wearing a veil. However, although it was just a veiled statue, it gave Yang Hongwu an irresistible feeling. He could only look up to it. This was an almighty, a super almighty. Could it be that this tomb belonged to this woman? However, didn't they say that the tomb belonged to the soul-mourning martial monarch? What was the relationship between this woman and the mourning soul emperor? Could she be the mourning soul emperor's woman? Or was she his daughter? No matter who this woman was, it was only right to bow to her. After all, he had entered her territory in the tomb. Yang Hongwu stood in front of the statue and bowed. He muttered, "I'm sorry to disturb you, senior. I hope you don't blame me." After Yang Hongwu bowed, a ray of light appeared and shot into Yang Hongwu's mind. This information shocked Yang Hongwu. This was a skill that used the primordial spirit to attack. Jinxian Finger. First finger to frighten ghosts and gods. Second finger to slay gods and demons. Third finger to destroy heaven and earth. Domineering, so domineering. This skill was too strong. It used the primordial spirit as a supplement to attack the soul. TSK. This time, his strength had increased tremendously. This was great. This was too great. He did not expect to receive such a huge benefit just by bowing. He wondered if the people who came later would benefit if they were the same as him. Yang Hongwu did not know, nor was he interested in knowing. Of course, Yang Hongwu would not be so stupid to tell others about this. If it was Zheng Qiushuang and the others, Yang Hongwu would definitely remind them. But what about the others? Even if they were from the Tianyi Academy, they had nothing to do with him. Everyone was selfish, and even Yang Hongwu was the same. In front of such a peerless cultivation method, who would be willing to share it with others? Especially those who were not on good terms with him. If he told them about this, would they learn a powerful skill and use it to deal with him? Chapter 271. Chapter 271 Hall of Heritage. Then, Yang Hongwu remembered the I Chi turning 3 pure ones secret method that he had obtained before. After killing Lin Quan, he obtained the one spirit into 3 pure ones. This was also an essence spirit mystic technique. If he could cultivate 3 clones, TSK. However, now was not the time to cultivate. Splitting one's own primordial spirit was no joke. It was dangerous, and the pain was definitely not something that an ordinary person could endure. The one spirit into 3 pure ones. Once he got out of this tomb, he would cultivate the one spirit into 3 pure ones. 3 clones meant that he had 3 extra lives. This was not a true spirit clone, but an actual clone. Just as Yang Hongwu was thinking about these things, the space fluctuated. Some people were teleported in. They were Mo Ran Tian, Yun Peng, and the others. Of course, Zetian was also there. Zetian glared at Yang Hongwu when she saw him. "Brat, hand over your life." Oomph. With a cold snort, a voice sounded in everyone's ears. "This is the Great Inheritance Hall. Anyone who enters my place will have to follow my rules. If anyone violates my rules, then there is no need for them to exist." Zetian spat out a mouthful of blood. She was a little dispirited and fell to the ground. She was in a sorry state. However, Zetian was tough and didn't beg for mercy. "I'll spare your life this time." Yang Hongwu swallowed his saliva. Could this voice belong to the woman in front of him? So domineering, so powerful. Could she be the Morning Soul Emperor? Was the Morning Soul Emperor a woman? This empress was so powerful. In Yang Hongwu's memories, the strongest person in the ancient desolate continent had never been a woman. A woman who could become a great emperor was definitely not simple. However, Yang Hongwu still didn't know what kind of realm a great emperor was. However, he was certain that it was definitely beyond the realm he knew. Entering this place is an opportunity for you. Of course, it could also be a fatal danger. Those who can survive will obtain great benefits. For example, obtaining my legacy? For example, obtaining the immortal equipment that you all dream of. The Morning Soul Emperor's voice sounded in everyone's ears again. "How can we obtain Senior's legacy and immortal artifact?" One of them asked boldly. "Like I said, there are opportunities and dangers here. Opportunities and dangers coexist. If you want to obtain immortal equipment, cultivation techniques, and medicinal pills, there are all of them. As long as you have enough courage and insight, you have enough courage." The Morning Soul Emperor continued. "This is the Hall of Succession. You can get whatever you need here." As soon as he said those words, a large black screen appeared in the hall. Words kept flashing on the big black screen. The words recorded all kinds of treasures, equipment, cultivation methods, elixirs, and so on. There was one immortal artifact, the soul-reaping bell. The soul-reaping bell could emit a terrifying ringing sound that could suck away one's soul. Hence, it was called the soul-reaping bell and was extremely ferocious. Once he got his hands on one's soul, he would be invincible in the entire ancient desolate mainland. There were 7th grade medicinal pills and even an 8th grade medicinal pill. Yang Hongwu gulped down his saliva. Yang Hongwu was tempted by immortal equipment, but not by much. He already had an immortal equipment. His 9 heaven mysterious Een Tower was not any weaker than the soul-reaping bell. In fact, it was even stronger. However, 8th grade medicinal pills, to him, it was very tempting. He did not know how long it would take for him to create 8th grade medicinal pills. After all, Hua Qianxue was only a 7th grade alchemist. There is a huge gap between a 7th grade alchemist and an 8th grade alchemist. Even in the ancient region, there was only one 8th grade alchemist. That person had long become a legend. Do you see that? Do you guys want the treasures here? Senior, how can we get these treasures? Yeah, what's the price? Everyone present was excited. These treasures were rare even in the ancient region, let alone in the ancient desolate mainland. Immortal equipment, 8th grade medicinal pills, 7th grade talismans, and powerful secret techniques. All of these treasures were priceless. Once they got their hands on one of them, their strength would increase tremendously, and they might even become the strongest person in the ancient desolate mainland. Even if they could not, they could still become the ruler of a region. It's very simple. Use crystal stones to exchange. Crystal stones can be obtained outside. You can obtain crystal stones by killing savage beasts. The higher the level of the savage beast you kill, the more powerful it is, the more crystal stones you can obtain. Of course, you can also fight with each other and kill your opponents to obtain the crystal stones on them. The Morning Soul Emperor said, "The first trial has restrictions on you. Once you've passed the first trial and entered this place, your cultivation will no longer be restricted. You are allowed to use your true chi and any other means you have." Suddenly, a huge door appeared in the hall. Outside the door was an endless wilderness. It was filled with a terrifying and violent aura. From time to time, a powerful bird would fly across the sky. "Heart-reaping bird?" someone exclaimed. Yang Hongwu was stunned. "Heart-reaping bird? What a ferocious name. It's really a heart-reaping bird. Oh my God, why would such a thing appear?" Another person exclaimed. "Heart-reaping bird is a ferocious beast from the ancient times. It's extremely powerful, and its strength is equivalent to that of a second-step primordial spirit realm. It loves to eat hearts, and would usually dig out the hearts of its prey. Therefore, it's called the heart-reaping bird." Hua Qinxue explained. "It's too scary outside." Someone said, "I'm not going out." Me too. A few of them wanted to retreat. They were only first-step primordial spirit realm cultivators, and they were frightened by the heart-reaping bird. "Not going out?" The soul-reaping emperor laughed. "You can't not go out. If you don't collect 10,000 crystal stones, you'll be killed. If I don't go out, I'll give up my immortal equipment and treasures, and I'll be killed? This on what basis?" Someone cried out, "Because I'm the owner of this place." As soon as the soul-reaping emperor's voice was heard, the person turned into a mist of blood. He couldn't be more dead. Those who were initially displeased were all scared out of their wits. They didn't dare to retort anymore. This was way too ferocious. All they did was question and didn't want to go out to die. But in the end, they were killed and turned into a mist of blood. Yang Hongwu gasped. He hadn't expected that this soul-reaping emperor, a female emperor, would be so cruel. She would really kill when she said she would. Hunting down beasts and obtaining crystal stones wasn't too difficult for Yang Hongwu. At the very least, he wouldn't have any problems protecting himself. Yang Hongwu's gaze landed on the Grade 8 pill. The regeneration pill could reforge one's physical body. Wasn't this pill prepared for Hua Qinxue? Chapter 272. Cooperation. 1 million crystal stones. 1 grade. 8 pill required 1 million crystal stones. An immortal artifact would only cost 2 million crystal stones. What a pain in the ass. It was at the same level as an immortal artifact. It would not be easy to obtain 1 million crystal stones. 1 grade. 5 savage beast was worth 1 to 100 crystal stones. 1 grade. 6 savage beast was worth 1 to 1,000 crystal stones. How long would it take? Yang Hongwu frowned. It was too difficult. 1 month. You have 1 month. Remember, only 1 month. After 1 month, those who do not have enough crystal stones will be killed. Geniuses of ancient desolate mainland, good luck to you. Everyone looked at each other. Looking outside, the heart-grabbing birds were still circling in the sky. Everyone was scared. F***CK. There were 3 or 4 heart-grabbing birds in the sky. If they did not get rid of these birds, it would be a huge problem. Once they went out, they would definitely become targets. The heart-grabbing birds were strong. A second-step primordial spirit realm martial artist could barely fight against them. Even a third-step primordial spirit realm martial artist could not kill them. If they could not even go out, how could they hunt the savage beasts? How could they get the crystal stones? Were they all going to be trapped here? Other than Mo, Ran, Tion, and the others who were calm. The others were extremely anxious. They were counting on Mo, Ran, Tion, and the rest to attract the attention of the heart-grabbing birds so that they could get out. But if they did not move, the others could not do anything. Mo, Ran, Tion, and the rest were not afraid of the heart-grabbing birds, but they did not want to take the lead. Once they went out, they would become live targets for the heart-grabbing birds. This was not what they wanted. Although they were not afraid, it was troublesome. Seeing that everyone was not moving, Yang Hongwu smiled faintly and walked out of the hall. At this moment, Yudai Jiao stopped him. "Are you going out now?" That's right. You guys are not going, but it doesn't mean that I won't go. I don't want to waste time here. I still want the immortal weapon. Yang Hongwu said, It's too dangerous. The heart-grasping birds are extremely difficult to deal with. Even we would not dare to take such a risk. If you go out by yourself, only death will await you. It's better to wait, Udgao said. There's not much time left. I can't wait. Yang Hongwu said, Thank you for your concern, Yu Xianzi. I have already made up my mind, so Yu Xianzi need not say any more. Yang Hongwu rejected Yu Dgao's kind intentions. On the other side, Zetian sneered and said, You really don't know what's good for you. You're only at the first level of the mystic embryo realm. Do you really think you're still the same as before when your genuine qi was restricted? For the Zetian, Yang Hongwu was more than happy to die here. Even if Qin Wentian wasn't killed by the savage beasts, he would still kill Qin Wentian. The fact that Qin Wentian was still alive was his humiliation. At the thought of his fiancée, Zhang Qiushuang, twisting under Yang Hongwu's body, Zetian felt as if his heart had been pierced by thousands of arrows. The pain was unbearable, and his anger continued to surge. What was more abominable was that Hu Xiuer actually looked down on him and even threatened to commit suicide. Damn it, damn it. All of this was because of that bastard, Yang Hongwu. If it weren't for him, he would have already reached the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm and obtained the soul-devouring bone spear. At the fourth step of the primordial spirit realm, with the complete Taotai battle body and the soul-devouring bone spear, his combat strength was definitely the most outstanding among the younger generation. How could he let Mo Tian be so arrogant? Therefore, Zetian's hatred for Yang Hongwu had reached the extreme. Even 1,000 cuts would not be able to erase this hatred. Moreover, if he couldn't kill Yang Hongwu, there would be a thorn in his heart. If he couldn't clear his mind, Zetian would never be able to break through to the primordial spirit realm in this lifetime. No one will think you're mute if you don't speak, Yang Hongwu said coldly when he heard that. You're courting death. Do you think it's still the same as before when your genuine qi was restricted? Now that your genuine qi is no longer restricted, do you think you can escape if I want to kill you? Zetian said angrily. Come at me if you have the guts, Yang Hongwu said sarcastically. Don't grumble. I'll wait for you outside. With that, Yang Hongwu strode out. At this moment, a heart-grabbing bird pounced at him, and the other heart-grabbing birds also moved. Yang Hongwu chuckled, and the divine dragon, demon-suppressing talisman, flew out from his spiritual abode. Now that Yang Hongwu had cultivated the primordial spirit, the power of the primordial spirit controlled the divine dragon demon-suppressing talisman was not just a little bit stronger than before. The divine dragon demon-suppressing talisman shone with a golden light and turned into a golden dragon. With a roar, the dragon's power was intimidating, and the heart-grabbing bird was frightened away. Everyone was dumbfounded when they saw this scene. This was especially true for Zetian. He had never imagined that things would turn out this way. He was disappointed. He was truly disappointed. How did this happen? He's gotten stronger. Mo Tian said. The power of that talisman treasure is indeed strong. It's not any weaker than my immortal weapon ink landscape painting. In fact, it's even slightly stronger. If he's at the second or third step of the primordial spirit realm, it's hard to imagine how strong he'll be. As expected of the person I've chosen. Yudai's eyes were charming and sparkling. She stared at Yang Hongwu with a smile on her face. Everyone else was overjoyed. This is great. The heart-grabbing birds have been chased away. We can go out now. With the heart-grabbing birds guarding the entrance of the hall, getting out was a problem. How are they going to hunt beasts and obtain crystals? Without crystals, they would be killed. That was why everyone was so happy that the heart-grabbing birds were chased away. If the heart-grabbing birds did not leave, they would have to take the risk and go out. With such a big group, someone would definitely be targeted by the heart-grabbing birds. Who would live and who would die? That would depend on luck. Now that the heart-grabbing birds were chased away, there was one less threat. All of a sudden, everyone rushed out. Without the heart-grabbing birds watching them, they felt much more relaxed. Zetian walked out coldly. His eyes were fixed on Yang Hongwu. He really wanted to kill Yang Hongwu, But he knew that with Mo Chantian and Yu Dai Jiao around, it was impossible for him to kill him. Even if Yin Peng was willing to help him, it was impossible to kill him. Moreover, there were other people from the Tianyi Academy, led by Storm. Although he could defeat these people one-on-one, there was no way he could face so many of them. Yang Hongwu, I'll kill you. You'd better not be alone. After saying that, Zitian turned and walked out. If you said that half a year ago, I would be afraid. But now? Haha, who will live and who will die? It's not up to you, it's up to me. Yang Hongwu said confidently. It's not up to you to decide who will live and who will die. It's up to me. This sentence was really domineering. A mysterious embryo realm warrior dared to say such words to a third-step primordial spirit realm expert. If he did not have a strong backing, then he was a fool. There was no other possibility. Chapter 273. Storm's Invitation. You've angered Zitian. He won't let you go. Why don't we work together? Mo Rantian looked at Yang Hongwu and said, if you work with us, we can protect you and even give you crystal stones. Oh, is there such a good thing? Yang Hongwu looked at Mo Rantian. The first saint of the Devil's Sect in the Western continent was very powerful, but why would he help him? There must be a condition. Perhaps he came because of his identity as a Dan King. Yu Dai Jiao was probably the same. Yang Hongwu was not a fool. He understood this point. You're a 7th grade alchemist, a Dan King. A favor from you is very valuable. Mo Rantian said, you know my identity as an alchemist. Do you think it's possible? You're from the Devil's Sect, and I'm a student of the Tianyi Academy. Yang Hongwu looked at the two and said indifferently, don't refuse so directly. It's not a bad thing for you. Moreover, we don't want you to betray the Tianyi Academy. Moreover, you're a 7th grade alchemist. Who dares to offend you? Mo Rantian was telling the truth. No one dared to offend a 7th grade alchemist. As long as he said the word, countless people would be willing to work for him. Anyway, thank you for your kindness. I need that 8th grade pill, so I need to hunt some savage beasts. I don't care about ordinary savage beasts. Yang Hongwu shook his head and refused again. Devil's Sect. In fact, Yang Hongwu didn't care about the Devil's Sect. As long as they had nothing to do with him, Yang Hongwu wouldn't fight with them for the so-called justice. Not everyone in the Devil's Sect was a bad person. In the Eastern continent, not everyone in the so-called righteous sect was a good person. For example, Zitian, he would kill the whole family. As long as he liked something, he would take it. It was natural to take other people's things. If other people took his things, they deserved to die. Such people were the most hateful. Of course, this was the way of the world. The weak were prey to the strong. Without strength, one could only be bullied. Having been in this world for so long, Yang Hongwu had already thought this through. Yang Hongwu wouldn't agree to cooperate with you DGAO of Mo Ran Sky. Yang Hongwu wouldn't even cooperate with the people of Tianyi Academy, let alone them. In this place, for the sake of the legacy, he could not trust anyone. The only person he could trust was himself. That's a pity. Here's a messaging glyph. Take it first. If you want to join hands with me, or if you run into trouble, you can use the messaging glyph to inform me. I'll come to find you soon. After saying that, Mo Rantian handed the messaging glyph to Yang Hongwu and turned to leave. Only UDGAO was left. In the distance, there were also people from the Celestial Academy, including Fengyu. Let's go together, Yu Dai said. I've already made it very clear. Yang Hongwu shook his head. Fairy, don't make things difficult for me. My good brother, I've already said that I'll follow you. Don't worry, I won't do anything to you. I can swear. Yu Dai Jiao said. Yang Hongwu had a headache. I want to act alone, but I'm worried about your safety. You're a little brother that I've taken a fancy to with great difficulty. I don't want anything to happen to you. Yu Dai Jiao said. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes. What little brother that you've taken a fancy to with great difficulty? Forget it. Do whatever you want. Yang Hongwu looked at Yu Dai Jiao. She was like a sticky candy. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to get rid of her. When the students of the Tianyi Academy saw that such a beautiful woman was being chased by them, they were all filled with envy. At this time, Fengyu walked over. Brother Yang. Brother Fengyu, what's the matter? Yang Hongwu asked. Yang Hongwu didn't know Fengyu, but he was still a student of Tianyi Academy. Brother Yang, we're all students of Tianyi Academy. How about we go together? Feng Yu said. Yang Hongwu shook his head. No need. You know that I'm very safe now. Zitian hates me to the bone. If I go with you, you'll be implicated. Brother, be careful. Feng Yu didn't insist. If Yang Hongwu didn't agree, he couldn't force him to go with him. Besides, he had heard about Yang Hongwu's deeds. His temper wasn't very good. In fact, the strongest true disciple of Tianyi Academy wasn't Feng Yu or Zixintong. However, they didn't enter the Morning Soul Mountain Range this time. Instead, they went to the Four Directions Holy Land. The Four Directions Holy Land was the joint holy land of the four great academies. The supreme inheritances of the four great academies were there. Feng Yu and the others were slightly weaker and didn't have the qualifications to become true disciples. Therefore, they entered the Morning Soul Mountain Range to try their luck. The Morning Soul Mountain Range was too dangerous. The mortality rate was extremely high. The harvest was also far less than the Four Directions Holy Land. However, they didn't have the qualifications to enter the Four Directions Holy Land. As for Mo, Rantian, and the others, they were very strong. They could contend against the true disciples of the four great academies. However, they actually looked down on the true disciples. Even though the Four Directions Holy Land was powerful, it was still inferior to the Morning Soul Mountain Range. If they could obtain the inheritances there, it would be much more powerful than obtaining the inheritances in the Four Directions Holy Land. In fact, what they didn't know was that the four great holy lands and the Morning Soul Mountain Range were actually ancient ruins that were connected to each other. They were all ancient battlefields. Even the leaders of the four great academies didn't know about this. Even the people of ancient region didn't know about this. The number of people who knew about this secret was too few. Seeing that Feng Yu's proposal was rejected, one of the Celestial Academy students said, Senior Feng Yu, this Yang Hongwu doesn't give you any face. You are a true disciple. You are the most promising student to become a true disciple. Yeah, this Yang Hongwu is too presumptuous. Another student echoed. Feng Yu said, What do you know? Yang Hongwu's current status is much higher than me, a true disciple. Not to mention me, even a true elder's status can't compare to him. A Dan King status is equivalent to that of a true dean or even a leader. Equivalent to a leader? How is that possible? He is only at the first level of the Xian embryo realm. Another disciple said jealously, My strength is greater than his. Isn't it just alchemy? Maybe he was just lucky to be able to refine a 7th grade pill. Otherwise, why would he refuse to refine a 7th grade pill for someone else? Yang Hongwu was such a young Dan King. Many people were unconvinced and jealous of him. How could he become a Dan King at such a young age with such a weak cultivation? How could he obtain so many benefits and be worshipped by so many people? Why can't it be me? Chapter 274. Snake Cave, how do we go? DGAO asked after Storm and the others left. Yang Hongwu did not say anything and walked straight ahead. Fine. DGAO did not complain and followed closely behind Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu's perception was very strong. After cultivating his primordial spirit, he had a great advantage. After walking for about half an hour and killing a few level 5 savage beasts, he found a savage beast lair not far away. There were many savage beasts in this savage beast lair, but it was also very dangerous. Why did you stop? DGAO asked doubtfully when she saw Yang Hongwu stop. There's a savage beast lair ahead, Yang Hongwu said. DGAO was surprised and said, Are you sure? Could it be that you're mistaken? His strength was at the primordial spirit realm 3rd step, while he was only at the arcane embryo realm. Although he was a 7th grade alchemist and was also a super genius, the gap between their levels was there. It was impossible that his sensing ability was worse than his, right? Therefore, DGAO was doubtful. I'm sure that there are a large number of savage beasts in the lair. The strongest among them should be at the peak of level 6. Yang Hongwu said, If we can take down this group of savage beasts, we'll have a good harvest. However, it's very dangerous. If we're not careful, we may even die there. In fact, If Yang Hongwu was alone, he would not dare to think about sweeping the savage beast lair. However, with UDGAO, he could consider it. UDGAO's strength was beyond doubt. She was strong and had many treasures. Even Mo Ran Tian was afraid of her. It was enough to show that her strength and status in the Devil Sect was probably higher than Mo Ran Tian. Therefore, with her help, he would have a better chance. What do you plan to do? UDGAO asked. I'll listen to you. If you think it's feasible, we'll go. Of course I want to go, but I can tell you clearly that it is very dangerous. Even a fourth-step primordial soul realm warrior might not be able to come out alive, Yang Hongwu said. Although Yang Hongwu and UDGAO weren't on the same side and hadn't reached the point where they could truly trust each other, he wouldn't abandon his principles. Whatever the truth was, it had to be made clear. I believe you. UDGAO's words made Yang Hongwu take a deep breath and say, All right, then tell me, what's your strongest combat strength now, and what level of savage beast can you deal with? It's equivalent to the 4th level of the Essence Soul Realm. I can kill typical 4th level Essence Soul Realm warriors. I'm slightly stronger than Mo Chantian, said Udaijiao. A 4th level Essence Soul Realm cultivator can deal with a 6th level peak savage beast. If that's the case, we can still give it a try. If you're really willing to trust me and aren't afraid that I'll sell you off, I have an 80% chance of sweeping through this savage beast lair, Yang Hongwu said. I'll listen to you. Udaijiao still nodded. After receiving her affirmation, Yang Hongwu began to move forward. As he walked, he told Udaijiao about the entire lair. Soon, the two of them arrived at a cave not far away. As both of them had concealed their auras, they didn't encounter any savage beasts above 6th level. Therefore, their journey was relatively smooth. Do you see it? It's that cave. There's a savage beast lair inside. I'm afraid there are more than 10,000 savage beasts inside, said Yang Hongwu. This is a black-winged viper's lair? UDGAO was very surprised. The black-winged viper was a rare type of venomous snake. The most powerful black-winged viper could break through to the 7th level. A single drop of its venom could easily kill a primordial spirit realm expert. The black-winged viper is not to be trifled with. Moreover, this is its lair, which is heavily guarded. It's too dangerous to enter. Udaijiao frowned slightly and said to Yang Hongwu, It was very dangerous to enter a snake's lair. Moreover, this wasn't an ordinary snake, but a highly venomous black-winged viper. The black-winged viper's venom was powerful, and it was good at hiding. Once it hid, its aura would be very weak. If one wasn't careful, even if one knew where it was, one wouldn't be able to find it. Set up a formation to lure the snakes out of their lair, said Yang Hongwu. He wasn't a fool. How could he not know the danger of entering a snake's lair? No matter how strong a person was, it was very dangerous to enter a snake's lair. If one was touched by the venom, it would be very troublesome. Since I can't go in, can I lure out those venomous snakes? However, there was one thing he didn't know. He didn't know how deep the snake's lair was, or if it was sealed. Otherwise, he could directly use fire to burn those black-winged vipers to death. However, he didn't know if there were enough crystals to burn them to death. How do we lure them out? A peak 6th level black-winged viper is quite intelligent. It won't be easily fooled, said Udaijiao. Use this. Yang Hongwu took out a piece of purple dragon gold. It was a piece left by Yang Hongwu. Although it was only a small piece, it was extremely tempting for snakes. The evolution of bloodline was irresistible for any creature. Real dragon's blood. You actually have real dragon's blood. Hey, is it the cursed real dragon's blood? Udaijiao exclaimed. Real dragon's blood was very precious. Even if it was cursed, it was still very precious. This thing was not less valuable than a 7th grade medicinal pill. This was something that was priceless. It couldn't be obtained even if one wanted it. Moreover, although the small piece that Yang Hongwu took out was cursed, the blood essence was very pure. It could be seen that this dragon's bloodline was very pure. It was far from being comparable to those fake dragons. This is too precious. Aren't you worried that you won't be able to get it back? This is not a problem. Yang Hongwu smiled and said, "This is not very useful for me. Moreover, if I can catch all the black wing vipers in one net, it will be worth it." The weakest black wing viper in this cave was at least a 5th-level savage beast. Among them, there were thousands of 6th-level savage beasts. If they could kill all of them, they should be able to get hundreds of thousands of crystal stones. With so many crystal stones, if they were to hunt separately, they might not be able to kill all of them in 1 month. Okay, I'll listen to you. What formation do you want to set up? What do you want me to do? It's very simple. Yang Hongwu took out the formation disc of the Heavenly Gang Thunder Formation. Formation disc? You actually have a formation disc? Yu Dai Jiao looked at Yang Hongwu in surprise. He really had a lot of treasures. There were talisman treasures and formation discs. The value of these things was not inferior to Mo Chantian's incomplete ink-colored landscape painting. If they were used together, their power would be even stronger than that ink-colored landscape painting. Chapter 275. Crazy Snake Swarm. Well, I got this by accident. The power of this disc array is not bad. Plus, I know a little about arrays, so it's not difficult to set up an array with this disc array. As he spoke, Yang Hongwu set up the array. He struck out a series of hand seals and placed spiritual stones one by one. Not long after, the Big Dipper Lightning Array was set up. The Big Dipper Lightning Array and the Divine Dragon Demon Suppression Talisman were just right to deal with these snakes. As long as there were enough spiritual stones, the Lightning Array would continuously send down lightning tribulations. The Divine Dragon Demon Suppression Talisman had a huge suppressive effect on snakes and weakened their defense. It was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The Big Dipper Lightning Array could only be entered and not exited. It was just nice to catch all the snakes in one fell swoop. Looking at the way Yang Hongwu set up the array, he was very familiar with it. It was not something an ordinary array master could compare with. Perhaps he was at least a 5th-grade array master. What kind of monster was this person? His combat power was amazing, and he could easily challenge those of a higher level. He was also a 7th-grade Elixir King and a 5th-grade Array Master. It was simply too abnormal. If she knew that Yang Hongwu was far more than that, and was also a Symbol Master, who knew what she would think? Well, later, you have to help me look after the array. If there are powerful savage beasts trying to break the array, then your duty is to kill those powerful savage beasts. Yang Hongwu knew that his Big Dipper Lightning Array had some flaws. It was still not enough to deal with so many savage beasts. Therefore, not only did he need to constantly add spiritual stones, but he also needed to deal with those powerful savage beasts that could resist lightning. This required 2 people to work together. Otherwise, if one of them had a problem, all his efforts would be in vain. Once the array was broken, he would have to face an endless number of black vipers. Yang Hongwu was not confident that he could escape from the siege of so many black vipers. Even if he had the teleportation talisman, he still needed to be very careful. Well, don't worry. As long as it's not a 7th-grade savage beast, I can deal with it. Even if it's a 7th-grade savage beast, I can delay it for a while. UDGAO said. Then I'm relieved. I'll activate the formation first and lure the snake out of its hole. As Yang Hongwu spoke, he entered the array and stimulated the small piece of true dragon blood. A rich blood aura spread out. The scent of dragon blood was extremely alluring, especially when it was pure dragon blood. It was extremely attractive to snakes and savage beasts that possessed the bloodline of dragons. It was like a drug to them. After the dragon blood was activated, Yang Hongwu officially activated the array formation. Thunderclouds gathered in the sky, and the power of lightning in the surroundings was absorbed and gathered. After Yang Hongwu saw it, he was slightly surprised. He didn't expect that after adding the power of his spirit into the Heavenly Dipper Thunder Formation, it would have such an effect. It could also attract the power of thunder and lightning around, and it was endless. In this way, the power of the formation increased a lot. It was a pity that his strength was not enough. Otherwise, if he could trigger the Heavenly Thunderstar, then the formation would really come to life and become extremely terrifying. It was estimated that it could even kill a grade 7 savage beast. A mere snake cave was nothing to it. It could be completely destroyed in an instant. After the dragon blood was activated for a while, a snake came out. The black-winged viper was an early grade 6 viper. It was quite strong. When it crawled out, it was quite careful. However, it soon couldn't resist the temptation. It sped up and swam towards the direction where the dragon blood was emitting. After the first snake, there was a second and a third. In just a few breaths, dozens of snakes had entered the array formation. Looking at this scene, Yang Hongwu was quite nervous. On the other side, UDGAO was also very excited. Whether they could succeed or not depended on the power of the array formation. One by one, the snakes entered the formation. Immediately, lightning flashed, and bolts of lightning bombarded the bodies of the dark eagle vipers. The first viper was killed by the terrifying lightning in a few breaths. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. Although he knew that it was effective, he didn't expect the power of the Heavenly Dipper Thunder Formation to be so great this time. In a few breaths, an early grade 6 viper was killed. Such speed was really amazing. Soon, an hour passed. In the entire array formation, thousands of vipers had been killed. Outside the array formation, the vipers were still swimming into the array formation one after another. One killed a large number of them. One killed a large number of them. This speed was too fast and too amazing. Yang Hongwu's eyes lit up when he saw the crystal stones. In just a short while, there were already more than 100,000 crystal stones. This speed was too amazing. Previously, the two of them had only obtained a few thousand crystal stones along the way. Now, in less than 1/5 of the time, there were already more than 100,000 crystal stones. Yang Hongwu estimated that there weren't many vipers left in the snake cave. However, the ones at the back were usually the strongest. The Snake King hadn't come out yet. The Snake King's strength was definitely equivalent to a grade 4 primordial spirit realm. Sure enough, after half an hour, there were only a few vipers left. However, their strength was getting stronger. Yang Hongwu was really surprised. Why were the weaker ones coming out at the front, while the stronger ones were at the back? Logically speaking, in such a situation, the stronger ones should be at the front, while the weaker ones should be at the back. Could it be that there was something strange or restrictive here? Although he really wanted to enter the snake cave to investigate, he still resisted the urge. Suddenly, there was a loud noise that made Yang Hongwu tremble. A gigantic snake appeared at the entrance of the cave in the distance. This gigantic snake had horns growing out of its head. This snake, damn it, is going to turn into a dragon. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. This momentum was too terrifying. Its body was 10 feet wide, and only a small part of its long body was exposed. Its huge head spat out its scarlet tongue, and its long fangs were like two sharp daggers, shining with a terrifying cold light. Be careful, this guy is about to become a grade 7 savage beast. UDGAO's expression changed as well. She reached out and opened her palm. A dark green butterfly appeared in the center of her palm. It quickly flew up and turned into many 7-colored butterflies that fluttered in the air. Yang Hongwu didn't dare to be careless. He activated his battle constitution and displayed the battle spirit possession. Once the giant snake entered the formation, he would use all his strength to control the Heavenly Dipper Thunder Transformation formation to bombard the giant snake. Roar. Although it wasn't a dragon's roar, it faintly had the aura of a dragon. Whoosh. Chapter 276. The terrible serpent. As soon as the giant snake entered the formation, a terrifying purple lightning bolt as thick as a bowl struck down. The giant snake raised its head and roared. It spat out a breath that collided with the bolt of lightning. The bolt of lightning that was as thick as a bowl was actually shattered. Yang Hongwu's eyes widened when he saw this. What a guy! What terrifying strength! While Yang Hongwu was still in shock, the giant snake instantly broke through the seal and entered the location of the true dragon blood. It opened its mouth, and a terrifying suction force burst out. The true dragon blood was swallowed into its mouth. Only then did Yang Hongwu react. Damn it, this bastard actually swallowed the blood of a true dragon. F***CK, this speed is too fast. Even you, DGAO, couldn't react in time. Bastard. Udai shouted, and the butterflies flew towards the snake like a small tornado. Ding, ding, dang, dang. When the butterflies hit the giant snake, the sound of metal colliding could be heard. Sparks flew from the scales of the giant snake. This time, the attack did not cause any damage to the giant snake. It only left a white mark. The giant snake was enraged, and its huge tail whipped wildly. Rumble, rumble. The entire ground trembled, and the array formation shook as if it was about to shatter. Yang Hongwu was alarmed. This wouldn't do. If the formation was shattered, there would be no way to deal with this beast. The serpent's strength was too terrifying. Even with the formation and the suppression of the divine dragon demon suppressing talisman, it was still so terrifying. DGAO's attacks had no effect, and the lightning formation's attacks didn't do much damage to it. How could his defense be this terrifying? What the hell? Is this still a level 6 savage beast? Yang Hongwu couldn't help but curse. However, he absolutely had to kill this beast. The stronger he was, the more crystals he would drop. Perhaps the crystal stones dropped by this giant snake might even be more than the crystal stones dropped by the tens of thousands of vipers combined. UDGAO's attack was blocked and had no effect at all, which made her completely furious. It was her first time making a move, but she actually met with such a setback. Her attack was not effective at all, which made her feel unhappy. Moreover, she had lost face in front of Yang Hongwu. At the beginning, she had boasted that as long as it was not a 7th-level savage beast, she could deal with it. Furthermore, the serpent before him wasn't a grade 7 savage beast. It was only a grade 6 pinnacle savage beast. Jade Butterfly tenderly shouted. The jade butterfly in her hand flew out again. This jade butterfly flashed with blue light, as if it was a sharp blade. A circular ring of light was formed in the surroundings. It looked like a saber light. Everywhere he went, the viper corpses were cut open as if they were tofu. The enormous snake seemed to have sensed the danger and actually began to retreat. It raised its head and spat out a small black ball. This small black ball was extremely powerful. Just now, it had relied on the aura of this ball to disperse the lightning. However, the enormous snake had underestimated the jade butterfly. The jade butterfly was blocked by the small black ball, but it only paused for a moment. Soon, it broke through the small ball's obstruction and continued to fly towards the enormous snake. Rip! The sound of cloth tearing could be heard. The jade butterfly was like a sharp scalpel, cutting through the enormous snake's hard scales. A huge wound was cut open on the enormous snake's body. Blood spurted out from the wound. It was everywhere, as if there was a fountain. The enormous snake went crazy. The intense pain made it writhe crazily. It was injured. It was actually injured. It was injured by 2 hateful humans. How many years had it been? How many years had it been? After breaking through to grade 6, it had never been injured again. It had also killed countless savage beasts and humans. It did not expect that this time a human would use dragon blood, the blood of a true dragon, to tempt it. The enormous snake knew that this was definitely a conspiracy. In the past, humans had used such a despicable method to hunt it down and trick it. It had been tricked once and almost lost its life. It had managed to escape with great difficulty. This was the second time. How could it be tricked a second time? Therefore, it ordered its descendants to recklessly attack the formation. It wanted to exhaust the formation's energy and make the 2 hateful humans exhaust their strength. Only then would it have a chance to obtain the blood of a true dragon. That was the blood of a true dragon. Once it obtained it, it would be able to truly evolve and break through the shackles of grade 6 savage beast to become a grade 7 savage beast. However, it did not expect these 2 humans to be so powerful. More than 10,000 of its descendants were killed, but the 2 humans' strength was not exhausted. It originally thought that it could easily devour the blood of a true dragon. In fact, it had already done so. However, it did not expect that after devouring the blood of a true dragon, it would be trapped. These 2 hateful humans were so powerful. After trapping it, they even broke its defense and injured it. Hateful humans, I will devour you. The enormous snake opened its mouth and roared. "You can actually speak?" Yang Hongwu was shocked. This enormous snake's strength had actually reached such a level. It seemed that there would be a tough battle ahead. "Humans, this is all thanks to your blood of a true dragon. It allowed my bloodline to evolve. I'm about to break through." The enormous snake was overjoyed. It could actually speak the human language. It could feel that its bloodline was evolving towards a true dragon. This meant that it would soon become a real dragon. "When I succeed in evolving, it will be the time of your death." "Is that so?" Yang Hongwu sneered. "Bastard, you devoured my blood of a true dragon, and you still want to escape? You won't have a chance. If he let it escape, it would be a disgrace." The loss would not be small. Although he had already obtained more than 100,000 crystal stones, it would be a pity if he let this enormous snake go. Dancing butterflies. At this time, Yu Dai's voice rang out again. Butterflies flew up one after another. The entire scene was extremely beautiful. However, this beautiful butterfly dance was filled with terrifying killing intent. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The butterflies rushed towards the enormous snake's eyes. Oh! At this time, the enormous snake let out a miserable cry. Its eyes were blinded by the terrifying butterflies. The huge snake went crazy and twisted crazily. The huge force almost caused Yang Hongwu to lose control of the formation. Although he managed to control the formation, he was still injured and coughed up a mouthful of blood. However, although Yang Hongwu was injured, he would not let go of such a good opportunity. Divine Dragon Demon Suppressing Talisman, suppressed by me. Chapter 277. Killing the Giant Snake. Oh, damned human. How can you have such a talisman? The giant snake struggled madly as it was suppressed, but the Divine Dragon Demon Suppressing Talisman seemed to be its nemesis. No matter how hard it struggled, it couldn't break free from the talisman. It was anxious, crazy, and even more irritable. Big Dipper Thunder Formation. Yang Hongwu forcefully endured the pain from his injuries and gritted his teeth. Then, he released one spirit stone after another to reinforce the power of the formation. He quickly formed seals with both hands. Bolts of lightning bombarded the trapped giant snake. Bolts of lightning bombarded the giant snake's body. The giant snake was in pain. It kept struggling and twisting, creating huge craters on the ground. UDGAO didn't stay idle. Seeing that the giant snake was trapped, how could she let go of such a good opportunity? Under her control, the Jade Butterfly quickly launched an attack. The Jade Butterfly's attack was much more powerful than Yang Hongwu's Big Dipper Thunder Formation. Every attack left a deep wound on the giant snake's body. Blood spurted out. The ground was dyed red by the giant snake's blood. It had obtained the true dragon's blood and was about to break through. It only needed a little more time to cross the threshold and become a level 7 savage beast. But now, it suffered such a terrible blow. This damned thing, I don't know what kind of treasure it is, but it can suppress me. I can't use my strength at all. Moreover, the true dragon's blood in my body is suppressed. I can't activate my bloodline. As a result, my strength is greatly reduced. You want to kill me? I won't let you have it easy. You damned humans, I want you to die with me. The giant snake roared. Its aura surged and it spat out its inner core. It was going to self-detonate. Oh no, this beast is going to self-detonate. Yang Hongwu was shocked. This was a peak level 6 savage beast. It was one step away from level 7. No, it was already a level 7 savage beast. It was just that it hadn't completed its evolution. It was no joke for a grade 7 savage beast to explode its inner core. Everything within a radius of 1,000 feet would be razed to the ground. How could he escape? The only way was to enter the immortal mansion. UDGAO's expression changed drastically. This giant snake was actually going to self-destruct. Damn it, she hadn't expected this either. Just as Yang Hongwu and UDGAO were about to escape and defend against this terrifying explosion, the dragon egg in Yang Hongwu's divine dwellings moved. A 7-colored light shot out from the dragon egg and turned into a small 7-colored dragon. The small dragon opened its mouth and swallowed the core of the giant snake. It then turned into a 7-colored light and entered the divine palace and the dragon egg. Just like that, this huge crisis was easily resolved. Yang Hongwu was dumbfounded. Could that rainbow-colored light dragon be the soul of the dragon egg? Or the primordial spirit of the dragon egg? Bloody hell, that was incredible. To be able to swallow the inner core of a grade 7 savage beast in a single gulp, and to think that nothing would happen to it. Just what was the origin of this dragon egg? Yang Hongwu was getting more and more curious about the dragon egg in his body. After the crisis was resolved, the giant snake lost its core and its aura weakened. The lightning bolts bombarded the giant snake's body, and it couldn't block them at all. The scales were powerful, but the lightning bolts directly bombarded the giant snake's body. The huge lightning force wreaked havoc in its body. Without the core, it lost 90% of its strength. How could the giant snake withstand it? After a few more strikes, the giant snake let out a final scream and died. After confirming that the giant snake was dead, Yang Hongwu removed the formation. After removing the formation, Yang Hongwu couldn't hold on anymore and sat down on the ground. It was too exhausting. He had to concentrate too much, and the consumption was terrifying. If it wasn't for his willpower, he wouldn't have been able to withstand it. Don't relax at this time. Cultivate the Refining Mind Sutra. Hua Qinshue's voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's ears. Yang Hongwu knew that this was the best opportunity to cultivate. He gritted his teeth, sat down cross-legged, and began to cultivate. 1 cycle, 2 cycles. The primordial spirit that was originally dispirited in the divine dwellings crazily absorbed the medicinal effects of the elixirs and the surrounding energy. Seeing that Yang Hongwu was recovering, Udgao didn't disturb him. Instead, she stood guard beside him. Udgao was getting more and more curious about Yang Hongwu. That 7-colored light dragon was so powerful that it could swallow the core of the giant snake that was about to explode. This was something that even a grade 7 savage beast couldn't do. Under the control of the giant snake, the majestic energy could explode at any time. Udgao didn't expect that the 7-colored light dragon was so powerful. It was incredible. Udgao didn't know where the 7-colored light dragon came from. And how did Yang Hongwu get such a treasure? It could very well be the weapon spirit of an immortal weapon. Yes, that was the only explanation. Moreover, this immortal weapon was a devouring type immortal weapon. Otherwise, the weapon spirit wouldn't be so domineering and have the ability to swallow the core of a savage beast. After an hour, Yang Hongwu opened his eyes. Through this hour of cultivation, not only had his injuries healed, but his primordial spirit power and mental strength had also improved tremendously. In particular, his primordial spirit power had increased by almost 10%. Such a speed was simply too shocking. The tiny primordial spirit had grown a little. Yang Hongwu was pleasantly surprised. If the primordial spirit kept growing, it meant that his cultivation was also improving. Judging from the size of the primordial spirit in the divine dwellings, he could be considered to be at the peak of the primordial spirit realm level 1. However, there was still a gap between his actual combat strength and that of a level 1 primordial spirit realm level 1. This was because his primordial spirit power had yet to merge with his true origin. Once it did, its power would be truly powerful. The so-called true origin energy was enhanced by the compression of true origin energy. When true origin energy was condensed into a liquid state, the quality of the liquid true origin energy was more than 100 times higher than true origin energy. Only those who were at the half-step primordial spirit realm and above could truly cultivate the liquid true origin energy. In fact, the difference between a true primordial spirit realm and a level 4 primordial spirit realm was the cultivation of the primordial spirit realm. The difference between a mystic embryo realm and a level 4 primordial spirit realm was the completely liquid true origin energy. Looking at the mystic embryo in his dantian, Lin Fan continued to breathe in and out true origin energy. As his cultivation increased, the mystic embryo continued to grow. In the end, the mystic embryo condensed a primordial spirit and gave birth to the primordial spirit power. The primordial spirit power merged perfectly with the mystic embryo to control the true origin energy. When combined with the true origin energy, it was extremely powerful. Therefore, although Yang Hongwu now had a primordial spirit and the primordial spirit power, he couldn't merge it with his true origin energy. He couldn't merge the primordial spirit power with his martial skills to unleash its greatest effect. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.